I got a fucked up voice. My voice is not going to be great today. Oh, no. No. There we go. I just wanted to watch it so badly that I'm willing to do this, even though that I probably shouldn't. Like, low-key. Because my voice is definitely messed up. But it's going to make it funnier. You know? I am excited, though. Hi, honey. How you doing? I see you in the chat. Goodness. Nah, drink some tea. I've been drinking tea. That's a type of tea. What's up, Jalen? How's it going? Okay, I'm gonna start sharing this live out. Make sure you guys are sharing the live, sending it out to people. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure that I invite as much people as I can before start. People always get mad when they find out that I've been streaming an hour and a half in. All right. And we got Isaiah in the house as well.
What's up, man?
Nothing much, man.
Your voice is doing way better last time you went live, honestly.
I'm purposely talking with as low of a voice as possible.
Otherwise,
I get really bad with the scratchiness, you know. Review the debate review. Oh, they want me to review the review that Jay made of the debate. No, I can't. I can't do that right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't. Did you just share it with everyone? I shared it with a ton of people.
Here, I'll share it too. We are gonna share it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get some people in here.
Yo, stop spoiling. No. I just sent the live request because I'm just doing this stream, Constantine. I didn't know if you wanted to watch or not. Reviewing a debate. Stop spoiling the debate for me on YouTube, you turds. I already got people saying Jake genuinely conceded in 30 minutes. Okay. So I am. Oh, no. This is going to be bad, man.
Can you add like a at the top of the screen like a voice crack counter?
Voice crack? Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Hold on.
It might be. I might have to change that every bit.
Yeah, give me a minute.
It was bad, man. Gosh.
All right, we got one. There we go. Voice crack counter 1. So we're already 1 up. Tell them what you just got done doing. Oh, we were at a family movie night. We watched Zootopia 2, bro.
How was it?
It was peak. It's a good movie. I can't even.
I just got done watching Whiplash for like the 4th time. So.
All right.
And it left.
So it's an hour and 42 minutes. All right. I started it at 8, so I should be able to get through this entire thing before I go to bed. Granted, I like to yap, so this might suck in terms of how long this is going to take, but only the real ones are going to stay here throughout this entire review, especially because this is my favorite topic. I'm going to have plenty to say during stuff like this.
What are they debating? What was the topic of the night?
Is the Trinity logical?
Oh boy, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and apparently, according to a couple people on Discord, they told me that apparently there's a ton of stuff about EED being talked about in this debate, and I'm excited to see how Jake tries to talk about stuff like that. All right, Ericoda for $5. Thank you very much, brother. He says, Nick, you need to fix that yee ass haircut. Appreciate that.
But I will.
Let's get moving. Hold on. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna go bam, bam, and then we're gonna do bam, display.
I think that's 2.
Yeah.
That might be too subtle, but
That might have been a little much.
We'll keep up.
Wait, what the heck? Yo, why is it not showing though? All right, now it's just not cooperating. Hold on. We're gonna make this happen, guys. Don't worry. I promise. How about a window capture? Oh, whoa. I'm an unk. Someone help me. There we go.
we got it.
Bam. Bam. Now you guys can see my beautiful face, but you also can see some of the debate, I guess. You just need to be able to hear it, but you know.
Yeah, that's really.
I'm going to the YouTube to watch now. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. On the YouTube side, though, I'm not gonna lie. You're just gonna see my face. So, Nick, if that's what you prefer. Actually, no, that's not fair. That's not fair to the people on YouTube. I'm dying. I'm losing.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy?
Yeah,
I don't even feel bad anymore. Like I actually feel pretty dang great.
You gotta do the honey strat, dude. You gotta
But I
get a spoon
sound
of honey.
horrible. All right. So we got it like this, I guess. Hold on. We'll use the Brio for this one. Different angle, you know what I'm saying? Dude, why is that so bright? Sorry, guys, I'm setting up new stuff.
Never stress, Bryce J.
How epic. There we go.
Boy, what you say about the low gear?
Is this lagging?
Yeah. I think the frame drop is just a little apparent.
Hold on. Ah!
It's okay. It's just like a little.
Yeah.
When you talk, it's gonna be a little less frames, I guess.
It's whatever. Paulie Jack Daniels for $5. Thank you very much for the super chat. He says, anyone you'd recommend for responding to the papal minimalist claims? God bless and keep it up. Ubi Petrus has multiple videos on papal minimalism. That's really good. I'd
Sharp
recommend
on
that.
the time. I am a
Let's get
stickler
moving.
for time, so let's not go over. All
Oh,
right, with
that's
that, let
bad.
me get your screen up here. Let me see. Let me make
My
sure.
wife
I
was
can-
yelling at me to
make it
go
a little
live.
bit bigger.
Yeah,
I was
it's
late.
not coming bigger. Is there a? What are you sharing on specifically?
Here, I'll try to just see if I can share it. Like,
The timer on your.
accurately defined in classical logic, for something to be illogical or logically inconsistent, it means
By the way, I'm probably not going to watch rebuttals, if you want me to be real.
there is no
So I'm going to watch openings, and then we're going to watch cross exams, and then if they have some kind of Q&A thing, I want to do that.
model under which every member is true without it being a contradiction in the set, and that's just classically defined everywhere. You can read that at the SEP, or really any site that has the definitions of classical logic on it. Now, given that definition, what my opponent is going to have to show is that the model that I give regarding the Trinity is logically inconsistent and that it actually has an error within it that cannot be solved. A couple of things my opponent cannot do is if my opponent tries to argue about the actual properties of the person, such as what makes the person distinct, or asking how do we discern them, that would fall into error, as logical consistency has to do with the model. It is not concerned with the metaphysics of what actually makes them distinct. If I can create a consistent model using first order logic and he agrees it is consistent, he has conceded the debate that it is logical. If it is metaphysically consistent is another topic. So all this means, guys, is there's a difference between the metaphysics of something and the logic of something. Now, the specific set of statements that are regarding in this which would try to model, is going to be there exists an FS and HS, that there are 3 of these, and that they are 1G yet not each other. So this model is saying that the F is obviously going to stand for Father, S, Son, HS, Holy Spirit, etc. And these are 1G. So they're one God, yet they're not the same person. This model is not concerned with the properties of predicates themselves. So what are the properties of F, S, and HS is irrelevant to the actual model, but are instead concerned with if the statement can lead to a consistent model itself. So how do we formulate this? Well, we formulate these statements using relative identity operator, meaning that the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are the same G, but they're not the same P, meaning that they're going to be one in one way, but yet distinct in another way.
Relative identity W.
One possible objection that my opponent might give is he might say this way of counting is ad hoc. Although I don't believe it is, even if we granted this counting method is ad hoc, it would not prove the formulation to be logically inconsistent, as models do not care about ad hocness. Rather, they care if the formulation actually works itself. Another possible objection is he might say that if we count another way, it would lead to a contradiction. This would again fail because even if that is true, as long as this model is consistent, we have met the criteria to be.
You know, I'm glad that he's already addressing this, but you know something that really matters about these counting method arguments? And a lot of people kind of forget about like that this problem that Muslims think exists but doesn't is even if, and hear me out for a second, guys, I'm going to explain this. Even if for some reason I were to say that I only count by absolute identity, and by that logic, I would have to affirm three beings, even if I decided to concede that, the counting method of something, like logical counting methods, right, doesn't actually purport to metaphysical truth or ontology. There's a break between those things, and they don't even know that. They think that if I affirm absolute identity, which I don't, use relative identity, I'm just saying, for the sake of argumentation, it's actually a non sequitur. If you want to prove that the Trinity is three gods, making them affirm a counting method to prove that God exists in a certain manner is really stupid. If that makes sense. Because it's just a counting method. So a counting method is not going to actually determine the ontology of that being, even if I conceded that with this counting method, yes, there would be three gods. Even if I said that, it doesn't actually mean that then therefore the Trinity is three gods. That doesn't mean that he's actually ontologically three gods.
Yeah, it doesn't really supplement any sort of contradiction in the metaphysics or the logic either. I mean, it's just kind of forcing some type of understanding.
Be considered logical. To show a counterexample in this, if a Christian were to tell a Muslim, God is merciful, so that means that G equals M or God equals mercy, that would be ill-formed, given that a Muslim commitment about what is means. And so we can show there's multiple different models in which we can use to show that just saying that something is something or something that it equals another doesn't necessarily prove what type of identity you're using there. And so we can formulate it such as this. And that's the end of the slide, and we're all good to go.
Wait, what? Yo, W opening. Holy shit, W opening. That was like 3 minutes.
That's great for you, dude.
I'm
Especially,
so happy
Yeah.
of how short that was.
You ain't gonna do the commentary, add to the counter, you know.
Yeah, dude.
That's good. That's all he needs. I mean, really, that's all he needs. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's a good opening. It addresses like Jake's main objection.
I mean, it's his
feel.
only objection.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
All right, is that the end of your opening statement then?
Yes, sir.
All right. Really quick and easy, right to the point. All right.
Like, I haven't seen this. I'm just putting it out there now. Haven't seen it. But I'm going to call something out right now. The second that there's some form of cross-exam where he's going to ask Nick a question, I bet you the first question he asks is, in your model of the Trinity, how do you count gods? That's exactly what he's going to do.
Exactly, yeah.
In what way do
Exactly.
you count gods in the Trinity? You can make that dumbass
It's like a bagel.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
So, whenever do you have slides you want to share, Jake?
It's like a bagel. You know what I'm saying? You split the bagel.
Yeah, it's just a bagel.
It's still one bagel,
Been
bro.
talking about a bagel for an hour straight, dude.
It's still bagel.
Yes, I do. Let me see.
One
if this
bagel.
will work.
Okay.
I put it there. You see that? Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. Yes, I see that. Okay. So, all right.
Google Slides template. Sorry, just thought I'd point that out.
I got 10 minutes whenever at your first words. Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Let's begin with what I call the Muslimim, or what is best known as the logical problem of the Trinity. Eastern Orthodox scholar.
Did he just say that the LPT is the Muslim meme? It'll be on YouTube.
This is embarrassing.
The Trinity is like a bagel. There's two halves and a whole. Yeah, dude.
Branson.
Oh, no.
So true.
Oh,
so
no.
true.
No.
W analogy, man. Holy moly.
The doctrine of the Trinity is central to mainstream Christianity, but insofar as it posits three persons.
Sorry, it coming out of Jake's mouth is funny.
Father,
Go
Son,
ahead.
and Holy Spirit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who are one God, it appears as inconsistent as the claim that 1 + 1 + 1 = 1, close quote. So the problem is exactly what Muslims and many others have said about the Trinity all along. The Trinity clearly...
I bet either in this opening or in either a rebuttal or a cross-exam. At some point in this debate, he's going to bring up On Not Three Gods by St. Gregory of Nyssa. I guarantee it. For the counting method argument. He's going to bring up St. Gregory of Nyssa.
Now, Branson himself...
He does it every time. He's never not done it.
...believes that he has solved the apparent problem, but at least...
It's not cherry Kool-Aid anarchy.
...he correctly identifies what the problem is. The great Trinitarian church father Gregory of Nyssa states in a letter responding to another bishop about this problem, and I quote, "In truth, the question you propound to us is no small one."
Dude, oh my God.
Like a book. Because this is Adablabius. It's also called On Not Three Gods. He just quoted it. Already. Oh my gosh.
Holy.
World's most predictable dude, bro.
Nor such that but small harm will follow it.
This was not a setup, Raven. I have not seen this. That's just how predictable Jake is. Eric Coda for $2. Thank you very much, brother. He says, Jake gonna use the J. Dyer fallacy. I don't know what that means.
If it meets with insufficient treatment. For by the force of the question, we are at first sight compelled to accept one or other of two erroneous opinions, and either to say that there are three gods, which is unlawful, or not to acknowledge the Godhead of the Son and the Holy Spirit, which is impious and absurd, close quote. In other words, either the Trinity is true and there are three gods, or the Trinity is false.
I did say that I was doing a full review today. So now I'm going to show you guys, and I've shown you this before with previous debates that Muslims try to use for this. Okay, I know you guys probably can't read this very well, but I'm going to show it anyway. Muslims like to quote the work On Not Three Gods by St. Gregory of Nyssa, right? And they will basically talk about this specific section here. Forbid men to say there are three gods, right? It is difficult to deal with. And then he starts talking about the one singular nature, right? Which is how we would normally reject the plurality of gods, right? By saying that there's one divine nature, at once enumerating the persons, okay? Now, what Muslims don't do is they don't keep reading. Because if you look just a little bit farther down, right? He uses that entire point of saying, look, if we were to say that God is one because there's one nature, then in a sense, I think it would be better to say that there's one man because we all have human nature. He's not conceding that the Trinity is illogical here. What he's doing is saying that there's better ways to argue for why God is one. Because the entire point of On Not Three Gods is to set up the argument of one energy. That's literally the whole point of it. He uses the nature, and then he says, but technically speaking, people can kind of twist it and use these analogies, right? And then he makes an entire argument for why God is one based off of the fact that there's a singular token X in the Trinity. But no, he ignores that completely. He thinks that he can use a counting method argument by quoting the first two paragraph or the second paragraph of On Not Three Gods. which is ridiculous. It's just so low tier. Like, when I was first becoming a Christian, I thought this dude was the goat of Islam, dude. Like, I genuinely was like, man, this guy would destroy me, bro. He would cook me so hard.
No, he's not there yet. He'll never be there, actually.
I studied for a week his arguments, and I immediately realized, oh, he just doesn't actually read.
Isn't he the one that came up with the indexicals, too?
Yeah. Yeah, he likes to. Yeah, does the Father know that he's not the Son, Isaiah?
What a goober. What a goober.
Yeah. eBoy69 for $5. Thank you very much. He says, Nick says RI is expressed in FOL, but relative identity seems to require something like A and B share all properties of a certain kind. This is not SOL. Isaiah, you're better with that kind of shit. Do you want to reply to that?
No, really.
I don't do the like things being expressed in FOL stuff. I'm still learning like relative identity versus absolute identity and stuff like that in terms of.
No, I don't even know what I hold to yet, too, as well.
Like, so. I wish that I'd be able to answer that kind of stuff for you, man, but I don't usually study stuff like that. I'm new to that language. Okay. So. Alrighty.
We're metaphysicians.
I'm not logicians.
Bryce the metaphysician.
Yeah, dude, I'm a Palamite metaphysician.
Please don't ever change your name to that. Oh my gosh.
Gregory explicitly states that this question is important and requires significant treatment. Gregory further elucidates the problem, saying, and I quote, "The argument which you state is something like this. Peter, James, and John, being in one human nature, are called three men."
Notice how I just showed you guys that. All right. That's all the way at the top here. Look, the argument which you state is something like this. Peter, James, and John, being in one human nature, are called three men. There is no absurdity in describing that they're united in nature.
Thing is, I think Libiano tried to make a YouTube video on this because it is like a very common example that is used, and he tried to say that like if we apply this to the Trinity, then he's basically saying there are three gods, and it's like, dude, that's the point.
That's literally the entire point of what St. Gregory of Nyssa is saying. Yeah. Like, these people are literally just steel manning him as an argument. It's awesome.
There's no absurdity in describing those who are united in
Neo-Palamite metaphysician? That's crazy.
Nature if they are more than one by the plural number of the name derived from their nature. If then, in the above case, custom admits this, and no one forbids us to speak of those who are two as two, or those who are more than two as three, how is it that in the case of our statements of the mysteries of...
I hope Nick picked this up too, because I'm like 99% sure that we've actually conversated about this specific argument that Muslims make
the faith
in this work.
Though confessing the three persons and acknowledging no difference of nature between them, we are in some sense at variance with our confession. When we say that the Godhead of the Father...
Nick genuinely put Jake on a t-shirt. I'm excited.
...and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost is one, and yet...
Dang, he's drinking Mountain Dew. See that Mountain Dew?
Forbid men to say there are three gods. The question is, as I said, very difficult to deal with. In other words, Peter, James, and John share the same human nature, and we still call them three men because they are distinct.
He admits that it's very difficult to deal with, not that it's impossible, you goober. Holy moly.
Where, like, I don't get it, dude. At this point,
Gregory's honesty states that it's difficult to deal with. Yeah, he literally doesn't.
Therefore,
he doesn't argue that it's impossible. He argues that it's a hard argument because that specific way of justifying God being one is kind of meh. It's kind of the whole point. No gaslighting from Gregory.
I would rather have a hard time comprehending God than have like a really easy time comprehending God.
He's legitimately only read the first two paragraphs of this entire work. Because it says no gaslighting from Gregory, but if he just kept reading the work where it actually proves that the Trinity is one God because of one act, that he would take that as gaslighting from his perspective. You know?
From each other. Then why don't we call the three divine persons with the same nature three gods? Notice that Gregory doesn't do any professional Christian apologetical gaslighting. Gregory.
What is he talking about?
After the first 2 paragraphs, the rest of the work is professional Christian gaslighting, actually.
Dude, he's acting like it's a letter. Like he just sent this out, just letting y'all know it's going to be difficult. I ain't going to write on it.
Yeah, he straight up just said, man, I don't know what's going on, but Trinity's difficult to argue for. Like, just randomly.
Yeah, I got it.
He admits that the problem is, quote, very difficult to deal with. So anytime Nick or any other Christian apologist claims that this is an easy issue to deal with, we should remind them that they are...
He literally says it's an easy issue if you refer to energy.
...claiming to be better than their greatest saints. Gregory responded to the problem saying, and I quote, so according to the more accurate expression, man would be said to be one, even though those who are exhibited to us in the same nature make up a plurality. Thus, it would be much better to correct our erroneous habit so as no longer to extend to a plurality the name of the nature, than by our bondage to habit to transfer to our statements concerning God the error which exists in the above case. Close.
Okay, that's not Gregory's argument for the Trinity. He's not saying the Trinity is true, so I will just concede that we count one man. Like, that's not his argument for the Trinity.
He's saying if you are consistent.
This is like ridiculous.
Yeah, what an idiot.
I don't even think he actually understands his argument.
Close quote. In other words, to be consistent, we should say that
even Metaphysics Mike thinks Jake got baked. Well, that's hilarious.
there is only one man, rather than admit that there are 3 gods in the Trinity. But how absurd is that? Modern Trinitarian scholar William Lane Craig comments on this passage from Gregory saying, and I quote,
as a Roman Catholic, this was the first time that I heard an EO say that the energies and the essence have the same ontology, which completely destroyed my conception that EED leads to polytheism. That's because the people that believe that EED, that the essence and the energies are 2 different ontologies, are not Palamites, they're Neo-Palamites. That's not a real thing. There are not 2 ontologies in God, and the theologians that actually exist in the church, like our fathers, never once tried to make that argument.
Okay, why are we quoting William Lane Craig?
Gregory.
What? Oh, W. William Lane Craig?
Gregory, like Plato.
As the primary reality. He advises that rather than speak of 3 gods, we ought instead to speak of one man. But this answer solves nothing.
Dude, he was making fun of Greeks. Oh my gosh. There's no way that even scholars like William Lane Craig is this dumb, bro. The whole point of him basically saying we ought to think of one man, it's a joke. It's literally a joke making fun of the freaking monists. It's making fun of the Greeks holding to that exact position that everything is one. That's what he's doing.
What a goober.
He's joking. Oh my gosh.
Given that there are 3 hypostases or persons in the
hypostases
is crazy. Hypostases
is crazy.
The Godhead distinguished according to Gregory by the inter-Trinitarian relations, then there should be 3 gods, close quote. According to Craig, Gregory hasn't solved anything with his absurd claim that there is only one man. What about Branson? Branson freely admits, and I quote, today...
Oh my gosh. Why is it always... It's always Bo Branson. Do you think that any theologian existed prior to him? Anyone? Like, I don't understand why people think that even if I were to grant for the sake of the argument, and I don't believe this, but even if I were to grant that Bo Branson is just dead wrong in his entire argument for the Trinity or something, does that disprove orthodoxy? Does that destroy the Trinity? No. Because his view is analytic, meaning he has different ways of actually coming to all of these conclusions epistemically than somebody who would either be scholastic or even freaking continental. You know, like they're all different.
Today we count F's by 1, logical subjects that are 2, discernible from, or at least not identical to one another, and are F. That is, if X and Y differ in any way and are both F-ish, we count them as 2 F's. Close quote. This means that if the Father and Son are both fully God and are distinct from one another, which they are, then today they would count as two gods, according to Branson. Branson says that we must count gods in the Trinity differently.
See, I don't like that he's not actually quoting the work, but Gregory of Nyssa on the individuation of actions and events. That's in his LPT dissertation. I've read that. And by the way, this is kind of out of context a little bit. He's basically just trying to determine that the counting method that Bo Branson is using is not relative identity. So, I mean, like, he's just kind of like presupposing that he's using absolute identity to make these statements.
We must count gods.
Nick with a 3-week logic training arc versus someone with a degree in philosophy, and he still won. Yeah, exactly. That's because Jake, for some reason, I don't think he studies any further than what he already knows.
States, and I quote, to say we count by division is to say that the number of F's is given by how Fness is, or the
Hey, Jake,
F's
real
are.
quick, there was like a little pop there where you were kind of out. Can you go back? Like, I'm going to pause your time here and go back a couple seconds.
Far I should go back. Show F's by 1, logical subjects that are 2, discernible from, or at least not identical to one another, and are F. That is, if X and Y differ in any way and are both F-ish, we count them as 2 F's. This means that if the Father and Son are both fully God and are distinct from one another, which they are, then today they would count as 2.
What's the difference between continental analytic and scholastic philosophy? Scholastic philosophy is something that's pitted pretty much at the root of Aristotelian logic. The analytic philosophy is more based off of like Boolean logic from people like George Boole. George Boole? Yeah. Cantor. All of those guys. So it's very mathematic. It's very mathematic. It's very axiomatic.
Ooh,
right? Extremely axiomatic. Continental philosophy is epistemic philosophers. So people that basically question the absolute foundations of worldviews entirely. David Hume, Immanuel Kant, right? People like that. That's continental.
Hegel. I mentioned Hegel.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Continental philosophy is just the thinkers. You pretty much, yeah. Continental philosophy is basically just but how do we know that though?
Dude.
Yeah. I am sick, Jake. Yes, Bruce, pray for me. Pray for me.
2 gods, according to Branson. Branson says,
I feel
however,
good,
that
but
we
I sound
must
terrible.
count gods in the Trinity differently. We must count gods by, quote-unquote, division. Branson states,
Counting gods by division is just another word for relative identity, by the way. Like, I don't think Jake even believes that relative identity is illogical. I'm pretty sure that he's one of those guys that holds the position that relative identity is just a cop-out and it makes polytheism impossible, like with what Libiano says. You know?
and I quote, to say we count by division is to say that the number of F's is given by how Fness is.
Is there not a time limit to like the opening? Did Nick seriously just like throw out like 3 slides and said, all right, I'm good?
Goodness, man. Yeah, he's taking a whole lot longer than that.
Or the F's are or can be divided into spatially continuous parts with the same name F as each other and as the whole. This view is discussed extensively and was accepted by everyone, close quote. In other words, there is only one God.
Yeah, literally every single philosopher in the ancient times counted by division, by the way. Like all of them. Put it like this. We're composed of body and soul. Do we count beings, right, by the parts or the whole, Goober? Like, and yes, obviously the Trinity is not a parts-whole relation, but it's the same principle.
That's where they would critique you. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. But
They're
it's,
like,
it's the same type of principle. It doesn't like counting by division doesn't presuppose parts. But when you look at it, even from our own perspective, when you look at it from a human being.
But the bagel was spatiotemporal.
They're going to say that human beings are one man. Yeah. Oh, what does man consist of? Body and soul. Can they be separated? No. Like in terms of them actually existing apart from each other, like entirely.
In the Trinity, because the persons cannot be spatially divided from one another. However, Branson's historical claim that the ancients did not count by identity at all is laughable. Branson, Nick, and all Trinitarians count the persons by identity, not division. This is something Nick failed to acknowledge in our previous discussion. He claimed that he counted the persons in the Trinity.
Yeah, because Nick was too busy having you freaking fumble over your own words and say that God has 99 ontologies, Jake. That's why Nick didn't have to address that, because he had you admitting it over and over and over that God has 99 ontologies. He just kept conceding it over and over. It was the funniest shit ever.
Horrible.
By division. If that were the case, then there would only be one person in the Trinity, because the persons cannot be separated by time or space. So the question becomes, what is the consistent, non-ad hoc principle by which Nick,
you have to prove that counting by division is ad hoc.
Branson, or other Trinitarians determine when they count?
You have to make an argument for that. You know what's funny? One of the ways that you can make an argument for something being ad hoc is consensus, right? You could say, oh, well, 99% of philosophers don't use counting by division, so you have to justify why you need to use counting by division for this, right? The problem is that counting by division is pretty much the way that every ancient thinker thought. Actually, hilariously enough, Muslims count by division in Allah when they're referring to his attributes, because they can't be divided. Goober, right? Unless you want to say there's 99 ontologies and that they could exist independently of each other.
Yeah, he's a goober. Look at this little goober.
It's funny too, because Salafis will totally just concede that shit and be like, what's the problem?
Yeah, and then they'll like
yes, but you're the
else.
polytheist though, Isaiah. You're the polytheist.
Things by identity versus division. Since my debate with Jay Dyer, I haven't seen any good response to this question yet.
It's my debate with Jay Dyer.
Is he admitting that Jay Dyer had a good response or what?
Gosh, bro.
Like what kind of rhetoric was that? Is he admitting that Jay had a good response to it or what?
Everyone else is bad, not you, Jay Dyer. I love you.
Essence energies distinction. This is going to be bad.
The Eastern Orthodox, and Nick in particular, believe in the essence energies distinction. In short, they believe that God's attributes are not identical to God's essence or to each other. This alone isn't the problem. But when you combine this with the fact that they claim that each divine energy is fully God, then
You know what I hate about people that try to make critiques like this? Because I already know where this is going. These people, these folk, will say they believe that the divine energies are not the divine essence. And they don't say anything else. Like, they straight up will just be like, they don't believe they're the same thing. And I'll be like, what distinction do you think we affirm? And they'll just be like, two gods, pretty much. Like, that's like the type of shit, like, that's the level that most of these Muslims are at. Like, literally all of them. EED causes infinite gods? Based. I'm kidding. That's not based.
you have the LPT, infinitely extended.
God is infinite, so.
If there are infinite divine energies and each is fully God, but
there's infinite predicates to God. Don't at me.
Distinct from each other, then you have an infinite amount of gods rather than merely just three gods. It also demonstrates another inconsistency. Nick and the Eastern Orthodox count the persons and attributes in God by identity, but gods by division.
Wait, what?
It also demonstrates another inconsistency. Nick and the Eastern Orthodox count the persons and attributes in God by identity, but gods by division. Another problem characteristic.
What is he talking about? Does he understand that the way that we count persons is not the way that we count energies?
That's like two different types of isness.
Yeah, dude.
They're
like holy moly. Like we
I'm
don't
an idiot, dude.
We don't think
Oh, really?
We don't think that the energies are countable by any form of opposition. There's no opposition between the essence and the energies. The only way that you could predicate something like that is cause and effect, as it says at the Second Palamite Synod. It says that they are the same as the persons of the Trinity insofar as cause and effect, that the essence is the cause and the energies are the effect. It doesn't say that they're a major real distinction and that they're counted in that way. We actually believe that in terms of you want to say simpliciter, there's one energy in God. But there are infinite amounts of formalities that can be talked about. And yes, they're truly in God prior to the intellect. But at the same time, they're not the same thing as the persons. The persons are really distinct in a different manner, like a way different manner. St. Gennadios like makes that very clear, that you cannot say that the essence and the energies, that the energies are distinct from the essence the same way as the persons, because the persons are opposed. There is no way to try to say that the energies are opposed to the essence. He says that verbatim in on the distinction of essence and operations.
Of Eastern Orthodox and
have you read Tikhon Pino's book? Yes, I have.
Protestants,
it's pretty good.
As opposed to Catholics, is the claim that Muslims and Christians do not worship the same God. Jay Dyer, Nick, and others typically reason that Muslims and Christians do not worship that same God because we.
Oh, he's gonna try to pit Nick against Jay. 1 second, guys.
Oh boy. Well, this is a horrible slide to stop on, because I can't just do my little Roman takeover on Bryce's live. Just be like, oh yeah. Yeah, the One Piece poster is indeed very based. That's like the only thing on his wall too. He's got to add some more stuff. Honestly, it's got to get a little better than that. Take over? Nah, man. Bryce respects me. I gotta respect him. You know, I can't be adding in my little Roman opinion. Yeah, it is a little slanted too. Yeah. If Bryce had like a P.O. box, or I would like send him a bunch of Occam posters. That's what I would do. Don't tell him I said that though. He doesn't know what I'm talking about, and he's not even like, his audio isn't on. So
you want me to Occam Max? What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh, you heard me?
Yeah. No, yeah. It wasn't a bathroom break. My daughter's out there. I was letting her stay up tonight because she was really good, and she was asking if this is gonna sound weird, but like I'll kind of explain it because I'm a girl dad. Sometimes they like to have sleepovers, right? Where they want me to basically sleep on the couch, and then they sleep on the other couch, and then that's literally all it is. We watch SpongeBob, fall asleep. They just love that shit. And I told
That's
her,
so sweet.
I told her that I would do that, but I'm not going to come up until I'm done with this. So if she has an issue where she wants to go to bed now, if she just goes up there, I'll meet her there when I'm done. Right? And she's like, okay, and just walked away. So
can we get like a W Bryce J in the chat, man?
Yeah, dude. Can I get the edit where it's like that song? You're mine. Somebody
he's not edit. Joke's on y'all, he ain't even gonna do that after the stream, bro. He's just telling y'all that so he can get edited, bro.
Somebody please make an edit. Don't edit me.
Don't edit Bryce.
Oh, please don't edit me. Ooh.
We do not share the same descriptions of God. Catholics usually appeal to the Phrygian sense reference distinction, where two people can use different descriptions but refer to the same entity. If incorrectly ascribing different properties to the same entity necessitates two distinct gods between Muslims and Christians, then by greater reason, two entities truly possessing different properties should necessitate two distinct gods in the case of the Trinity.
Yeah, if you can prove that there's actually two substances denoted, Goober.
In other words, if two entities not possessing identical attributes,
the energies don't have their own substance,
is sufficient for not being the same God in the Islamic versus Christian conceptions of God, then likewise, the Father and Son not possessing identical attributes should be sufficient for not being the same God. This forms a strong dilemma for Nick. Either lacking identical attributes is sufficient for counting as two gods, or it is not. If it is sufficient, then the Father and Son cannot be the same God. If it is not sufficient, then merely citing a distinction between the Muslim and Christian conceptions of God is insufficient for justifying the claim that they are two different gods. Nick and the Ortho Bros must appeal to something else.
Okay, bro. Look, Nick is not an Ortho Bro. Out of all the people that I know on TikTok and YouTube, Nick is not an Ortho Bro. He barely talks about his own denomination. Most people wouldn't even know that Nick is Orthodox unless you ask him. I think I'm an Ortho Bro because I never stop talking about it. Have you ever seen Nick debate a Catholic in your life? Ortho Bros debate Catholics. That's the criteria. Ortho Bros debate Roman Catholics.
Bryce is better like start busting out on me as soon as this video is over.
As soon as it's over, you're done for, bro.
Yeah, it's like, well, do the formalities denote a real distinction?
Anathema to my Catholic grandma. Exactly. See, he gets it. Right. So an Ortho Bro is somebody who actually goes out of their way to try to debate against Roman Catholics. Sometimes Protestants, but man, I think they have it coming to them.
They're not parsimonious enough.
They hold a really bad epistemic position.
Besides mere distinction. Last but not least, my final objection also relates to Nick's Trinitarian model.
Bryce, you only debate Catholics in self-defense, though. You don't go out of your way to attack us. Yeah, because like it's one of those kind of things where, like, I'm not going to join a Roman Catholics panel to debate a Roman Catholic just because it says, "Why are you not Catholic?"
Submit to Rome.
Submit to Rome, bro. Like I don't care about those people. You know what I care about? The type of people that make fun of things like the sack of Constantinople. I will roll you through my freaking garden, bro. Like, you will become fertilizer. And you know what's funny? Those kind of people run. They always run when that stuff comes up. Like that guy, by the way, Kevin the Papist.
Oh my gosh, yeah, dude. That was horrible.
Child, literal fetus. You need educated. You need to be educated.
That was horrible, man.
And he deleted the post too, but you know.
Yeah, God forbid you keep that up. He's gonna repent for that, dude.
What about Jason's arguments for the Filioque? They're shit. Abdul Masih actually has a really good response to it, and it's not a hard response at all, because the way that he says "through the Son" is not denoting the hypostatic existence. Next.
Regarding the essence.
Yeah, we're all running the SCOTUS.
In light of Nick, J. Dyer, and the Eastern Orthodox.
I know everybody likes to say, "Oh, SCOTUS is only blessed," and then they fucking have to use him for every Filioque argument
in existence. Yeah.
Claiming that God is fully present in all of his attributes and all.
I will admit, though, SCOTUS's argument is the best one.
All of his energies. This results in the same absurdity parroted by Sam Shamoun, that there are such things as uncreated birds, clouds, fires, flesh, and blood. Why? Well, because they claim...
Wait. I gotta read these because he's like not actually reading this. Appearances of God are as uncreated energies. What?
Nick believes in uncreated clouds, fires, birds, flesh, and blood.
Wait.
Theophanies are worshipped, created.
Okay, this is by the way, this is conflating the matter that God is utilizing to provide the uncreated energies with the uncreated energies itself. All right? Like, and it's funny too, because I usually catch flack when I say this shit. There is no such thing as an uncreated form, guys. That's not a thing. There's no form, right, that God takes on that remains uncreated without it actually possessing something in the physical sense. All right?
Yeah, form.
Like Leviticus 9, when it talks about the pillar of fire, right, that comes down and takes the sacrifice. The fire is the thing that protects you from witnessing the energies. It protects you from witnessing what is uncreated coming to receive the sacrifice. Because of the fact that I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about Leviticus 9 because it's a cool ass passage. God utilizes his own effects to provide us with uncreated energies, kind of like a pipe, kind of like a transmissional pipe, like a where the outside that you see with your physical eyes contains the uncreated. Okay, but the literal thing, the bird, the cloud, the literal fire, it's actual fire. It's just manipulated.
Yeah,
Transubstantiation is the perfect example of this. The uncreated dwells in the substance. Right? It dwells in the bread and wine. Right? It becomes it in a sense, the Theophanies. But at the same time, there's still matter that are containing it. There's still some form of matter containing the uncreated. Jesus Christ, the perfect example of that. Matter contained the second hypostasis of the Trinity. The fire itself isn't uncreated. Now, I'm going to make a clarification. The fire itself, right, to a degree is uncreated in the spiritual sense, in the noetic sense. People are going to see more if they are enlightened with their nous. They may see God the way that Moses did, if they're enlightened. But God is going to provide a sign to all. You remember how, like, for example, it's visual in the physical sense for the unenlightened, and then it's not visual for the enlightened.
It's like when Elisha wants. Never mind. I'm not even going to bring that up. I don't want to be inconsistent with the scripture.
Put it like Leviticus 9 again. Notice how it says all of Israel witnessed the pillar. Did all of Israel witness as enlightened the uncreated light? No. You know dang well that, especially during that time in Leviticus, that there was a shit ton of idolatry going on. You think those people's nooses were enlightened to see God?
No,
it says all of Israel. Yes, they saw the glory insofar as the way it manifested. Right? It manifested as matter. That does not mean, right? And granted, there were people that literally did see the glory, though. That's the thing. They did see it noetically. They did see it spiritually. That did happen.
Claim that only God is worshipped.
But not literally every single person in Israel. Our doctrine states that you can't experience or see the uncreated light unless you're enlightened to a degree.
The Theophanies, or appearances of God in the Bible, are worshipped. Therefore, the appearances of God in the Bible are uncreated and fully divine.
No, dude, I hate to say it, Nick, but he started talking about EED and I started rambling.
No aspect of them is created at all. But God appears as a cloud, bread, fire, bird, and wrestler in the Bible. This means that Nick affirms uncreated clouds, bread, fires, birds, and wrestlers. If all birds are created, then Nick's Trinitarian theology is false. Otherwise, Nick has uncreated birds with feathers in his paradigm, which is absurd.
No, what the
What
the hell was that?
Why Augustine, Aquinas, and the Catholics following them believe that these are created effects of God, not uncreated clouds and birds. On the other hand, if these entities are merely created effects of God and are worshipped, then you have idolatry, as things other than God are being worshipped.
That's implying. Oh my gosh. That's implying that the freaking worship is only directed towards the matter in which God is manifesting with. Oh my gosh, dude. You can worship God through created things, by the way. Don't know if anybody knew that. You know, icons, you know, Ark of the
The Sacred
Covenant.
Heart, the humanity of Christ,
I mean,
the
literally,
cross.
I don't know, literally anything, right? That represents God to any degree. Like, do you think that when it says the Holy Spirit descended as a dove, that it was like not a dove? It was a dove, but it also wasn't a dove. Sit on that one.
Says, and I quote, Pentecost is an uncreated fire that falls upon the apostles.
It is.
Close quote. The same is true for the other entities
Jake just doesn't understand what that actually means.
God appears as in the Bible. Nick has a tough task ahead of him.
The sensible faculties, the physical faculties that you possess, do not experience God's energies. In the sense of it actually being in of itself. Anyway, I'll be right back, guys. 1 second. I got to take my dogs outside. They're going to pee. Hold on. I'm coming.
Summary, the Muslim meme. I still don't understand why he's calling it the Muslim meme. It seems like every time that he does run this argument, Bryce is making it very long. But you got to understand, after just watching the reviews with him long enough, you start to realize Bryce is, one of them, the big talkers, man. When they actually get into EED, it's going to be fun, though, because Jake won't actually have any argument against it, considering the fact that, like, even if he tries to run, like, some strict observance Thomist argument, where it's like, okay, what is going to be the distinction? And then he talks about the formalities, they're different under the formal aspect, but they're under the same thing itself, then I think Jake is just going to have a seizure because he's not going to know what he's talking about. And the attributable perfections in Allah are clearly illogical. Mr. 99 ontologies. So. And I love how at the bottom he says if Nick cannot adequately respond to these arguments, then he loses this debate. Like, oh, wow. Wow, bro. Really? Can't believe it. But none of these are really issues. Like if we say that Theophanies are a problem because we could say that pork steak or beef steak. If we say that the Theophanies are a problem because you can say that you can like worship the matter in which is God is revealing himself as, even as someone that says that, like, because I hold to absolute divine simplicity, I would say that they are created effects. Even in a sense, we could apply this to the incarnation. What would you be if you weren't Catholic? I would be a very, very scotistic or a highly influenced Eastern Orthodox Christian. Use numenology or phenomenology. Fun fact, I actually got the book from Hegel. It's pretty nuts. But am I inquiring Eastern Orthodoxy? I dabble here and there, but
he dabbles.
Inquiring in it. Yeah, I dabble a little bit.
All right, here we go. If this thing takes any
he
longer,
must provide
dude,
a consistent response to the LPT as to why there are not three gods in the Trinity. He must also explain why the energies are not an infinite amount of gods, why he can say mere distinction is sufficient to declare the Muslim and Christian as worshiping two different gods, but it isn't sufficient for the Father and Son, and lastly, how uncreated birds, fires, and clouds makes any sense at all. Thank you, and I look forward to the rest of the debate.
Right on.
See, that's just implying that like a manifestation of God means that the entirety of God just becomes whatever that thing is and ceases to be the other thing. Like, that's so dumb.
Everybody's,
On time. Perfect. Excellent.
everybody's talking about aloneness
Jake,
now.
let's.
Yeah, dude.
Nick,
Oh,
do you have?
Saw there being theophanies of uncreated birds. Whether or not
Oh, is this?
I said one thing
count
about
as
ODS.
one man too, and that's pretty much what Gregory of Nyssa says. But no,
Just skip in.
operator in first order logic is basically the symbol that deduces that the absolute identity.
about
Real
giving-
quick.
My argument is very simply are different. They're not worshiping the same God.
Somebody help me. Where do they start cross-examining? I don't really want to do rebuttals.
So if the question is, and this is what seems to be the hang up, or what your approach is the entire time, if you think that, and I'm just grabbing a book here because it's relevant to what I'm going to say now. If you think that merely provide structural,
So you agree though, the modern
and his in the structure that, so
Dude, I'm so confused. Back more.
equal sign, it can be interpreted.
All right.
Nick, if you believe that God appears as a bird or a wrestler
That's good
or
enough.
as fire or bread or anything else, and those are all uncreated, then you would have to be committed to the idea that there are such things as uncreated birds, uncreated.
Dude, holy straw man of the Eucharist. He just said that we think that the bread is uncreated. Dude, how mistaken are people about our view? Like,
I don't even think he's,
dude,
I think he's
you
just
have got to be joshing me, bro.
he's LARPing, dude.
There is no way that he genuinely thinks that we think that the bread is uncreated.
Fires, uncreated breads. My argument is very simple. All of those
Yeah, we don't mess with the uncreated foot. We mess with the uncreated bread.
things are necessarily created. You're claiming that they're uncreated. That is the distinction between us. So you have to defend the position that there are actually uncreated birds, or tell me no, that you don't actually believe that. Now, I look forward to the discussion. And
You get to cross-examine.
There we go.
My bad. I'm
Not-
Hey, look at this dude freaking muted.
You are. I will start on
Hold
your
on.
first word. You're muted. Hold on.
What a goober.
Hold on one second. There we go. Just had to get a screenshot of his confusion.
My bad. I'm
Not
muted, right?
hearing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Yep. There you go. Good.
Okay. Jake, what is an identity operator in first order logic?
what does that have to do with my argument?
He doesn't even know.
Or I should actually slaughter Jake in the debate.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
that's
giving you a
pretty-
formalization.
Yeah, I know, but like, I'm not relevant enough for him to debate me.
And formalization uses an identity operator.
I'm way too. I'm underground, bro. I'm an underground palamite.
Niche or
So I'm asking-
bro.
I'm niche ortho, bro, dude.
Do you know what it is?
I have no idea what it is.
Okay, an identity operator in first order logic is basically the symbol that deduces that one thing is equal to another. Okay, are you familiar with that?
Okay.
The
one thing
equal
being equal
sign?
to another, and yeah.
Okay. Do you think that identity operators in first order logic are limited to absolute identity?
This is a great
I don't know
question. That's a dope ass question. Do you believe that identity operators are only restricted to absolute identity? That is a good question. Because if he says yes, he has to justify that. If he says no, then he concedes that relative identity is perfectly possible and fine.
What you mean by the question?
That is such a good dude. I'm stealing that shit, Nick. I'm stealing that shit. I'm going to use that.
So when we use the equal symbol in first order logic, is it
Yeah.
limited to absolute identity or can we use other types of identity?
It depends on what system it is. It depends on who is using the equal sign. It can be interpreted
What?
differently.
Oh, so it depends. It's for only for thee, but not for me, bro.
Holy duck, bro.
Yeah.
Like he's basically saying, well, yeah,
I
it
mean,
depends on who you're talking
If it
to.
inconveniences me, I would probably say no.
Well, I mean, what are you getting at?
That's crazy. Depending on the person and the system.
That might
So
be the
it can be
worst
used differently?
response ever.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I want to show you a formalization here that I used. This
It's because he has a neon sign freaking destroying his DNA in the background.
formalization is going to deduce why
The
we believe
gems.
that it is one God. And I'll go ahead and share my screen here.
All right, I'll get that up. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, I'm ready.
All right, it's on the screen.
Okay, there you go.
All right, so I put this into a formalization using first order logic, and I was curious if you could find a logical inconsistency with this.
Was this part of your original?
He doesn't even read shit like this.
Oh,
He does not even read shit like this.
Oh,
he
gosh.
probably saw this and just went, What are we doing math now?
Oh, my gosh.
Presentation?
No, when I said I was going to formulate it, this is what it's about. Oh.
His setup looks like a vape shop. A lot of Muslims are vapors. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry.
No. Look at Bryce. W father. W dad. Can we get a W dad in the chat? Make that face again so I can screenshot. You might have to do that. Yeah, W pops for real. If it's not one person, some person, Holy Spirit.
I had to make sure my daughter was.
So basically, what this is saying, the Father is not a sort of person of the Son, and the Father is not sort of person of the Holy Spirit, and the Son is not sort of person of the Holy Spirit, and the person of the Father, and the person of the Son, and the person of the Holy Spirit, the Father. So it's basically saying that they are all equal, but the Father is not equal to any of the reference of the Son and the Holy Spirit. That's
Were
why
you
it's
guys,
saying,
were you guys able to hear that?
Wait, am I like unintelligible right now?
No, I said no, not with what you just said. I know I heard you. I'm saying, did you hear like why I had to disappear for a minute?
Yeah. Your daughter was like screaming, "Dad!"
Oh, you heard that?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, dude. You know what's crazy? It sounded
That's the
like she was
sweetest
dying,
thing.
right? It sounded like she was dying, like something horrible was happening. I walked out
Yeah.
there and she stood up and she's like, "Dad, there's a Spinosaurus on my TV." I'm like,
Nah,
sweetheart.
hell
I was like, sweetheart, do not ever yell like that again to tell me there's a dinosaur on your TV.
That is the
I was like,
nah,
I'm
dude.
gonna lose
Hell
my shit.
yeah, dude. That is worthy of a pause, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bryce, stay off the whiskey, bro. I'm sick. That's why my voice is messed up.
Stay off the whiskey.
Stay off the whiskey is crazy.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I'm literally sick. I'm like sick as a dog.
See, because I'm like an Akamite, I don't know if I accept this model right here.
Yo, oh my gosh, he thinks that I'm drunk because I sound like shit. That's crazy. Man, now I feel bad. Now I'm scared.
I'm not an Akamite. No.
I'm
You're
scared.
fine, dude.
I don't want people to think I'm like drunk or something, bro. Like I'm sick as a dog right now. Ugh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so this was
Let's
not.
keep going.
No, it's wasn't, you know.
Yeah. So if you're merely talking about
Real quick, guys. Part of it appears to not be on the screen there, Nick. It looks like where the F equals, there's an
Okay.
underscore.
Sure. Yeah,
I paused the time.
Sure.
We just fix that a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay. It's you can see right there. It's just a G. That's all it is.
Bro, who the hell uses an online notepad? Nick, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, holy millennial.
That's some millennial shit.
Yeah.
Online notepad, bruh. Just hit notepad in the search bar.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's continue the time. Go
What are
ahead.
we doing?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So if the question is, and this is what seems to be the hang up,
Bruh, I wrote it down like 5 minutes before the debate. ChatGPT right before the debate starts, eh? That's what I got from Nick.
Or what your approach is the entire time. If you think that, and I'm just grabbing a book here because it's relevant to what I'm going to say now.
He said what?
If you think that merely providing a logical structure on paper in which the Trinity can fit in and be consistent within that structure,
my wife does that with bugs. You would think someone broke in and abducted a child. That's pretty much the way that my daughter and my wife yell sometimes. Like, I'll just hear, Bryce! And I'm just like, and I run upstairs, and then she's just like, what do you want for dinner? And I'm like, dude, I'm going to go back downstairs before I lose my shit.
Sure, I fully grant that.
So you
hilariously enough, Noose, I actually do have whiskey. But I am sipping on this so incredibly slowly because I actually am a bourbon connoisseur.
WY for age baiting.
I know what I'm doing. But you actually got me like freaking out for a second because I was like, wait a minute, do I sound like that because I'm sick? No, dude, whiskey, it kills the sore throat. Did you know that? Anybody know that? See, alcohol kills bacteria. I got a sore throat. Drink whiskey. Boom.
So everybody should drink. Is
bacteria gone.
This is a really good formulation.
That
this is pretty good.
Is logically consistent.
He's drunk. Whatever, bro.
I'll give you an example. Peter
Any
Van
excuse
Inwagen,
to drink, for real.
In this text here, goes into quite a bit of detail.
Buddy needs to go to AA. All right, guys, chill out. Chill out. You're going to give me childhood trauma. That was too much information.
Regarding relative identity, and he formulates the Trinity and his particular model and understanding in what he calls relative identity logic. So, yes, if you're using a relative identity logical structure in a similar way that Peter Van Inwagen is, then it can be self-consistent, but that has nothing to do with my argument.
So you agree, though, the model I gave...
No, I took medicine too, Anarchy. You know, I took like naproxen or something. I just like.
So he's literally he's conceding that when we write out the model of the Trinity in the relative identity theory, it's completely consistent.
Which is conceding the entire debate.
It's literally conceding the entire debate. He's just like, oh yeah, my argument doesn't involve this, but he's talking about like the metaphysics.
Relative identity is idiosyncratic. Bruh.
Gave is indeed so the Trinity, the model that I gave, is indeed logically consistent.
No.
Dude, you're trying to debate him on the freaking metaphysics, and you're the one who distinguished that. Oh my gosh.
Bro.
Nick distinguished it in his first slide.
There's no way.
There's a big difference here. There's a difference, you know? And he's over here conceding that it's consistent.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. What an idiot, man.
And it's funny too because he said, is this logically consistent? He said no. I bet he doesn't show a single part of this that's wrong.
Okay, so can you tell me an inconsistency with this right here that I just gave you?
I think the problem that you're not understanding is merely because you can put the model into a specific logical structure that you hold to, and it can be consistent within that therefore it's logical in the general sense.
That's how that works.
Oh,
that's how that works.
My gosh, that is the worst response, bro. That beats the earlier response. That is the worst response I've ever heard from this man, like ever. That is hands down, I think, the worst response
literally
of all time.
Until he does an internal critique, it's just true, dude.
He straight up just said it's logically inconsistent because you have to use a system, bro.
Well, what's wrong with the system? I don't know. You're holding to it. Can you
show a inconsistency with the system? Well, I mean, you got to use the system for it to work.
Really?
Wow. Wow.
What does it
mean?
The
PSR is false. Why? Because you got to use the PSR.
Exactly. That's what the debate is and the hang up is. The point is that if you are using a logical structure or a logical system like Van Inwagen does in the book, right? Where
what? Who?
If you are using a logical structure or a logical system like Van Inwagen does in the book.
Van Inwagen? Oh, Peter Van Inwagen in the book. Did he write a book called The Book?
Right, where he uses relative identity logic, and this is what he describes it as, then
it's
yes,
branch
it can
of
be
logic,
consistent within its own paradigm. However, I do not ascribe to that paradigm. I do not believe.
So why don't you,
care?
Dude?
I don't care. Like,
why doesn't
that's the best part about that type of appeal. I don't subscribe to relative identity, so I don't have
that's
to hold
what
to
I'm
it.
saying.
So it's logically inconsistent because I don't hold to relative identity. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Why should I?
Relative identity logic. It's its own thing.
Yeah, like, dude.
Its own branch of logic, dude.
It's in like he thinks it's like freaking tetralama logic from the Hindus.
We got first order logic, second order logic, and then relative identity logic.
And then we got fourth dimensional logic.
Yeah, exactly.
In or agree with relative identity logic.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't ask whether
he thinks it's its own system, dude. Like it's whole like it's its own thing, like way over there.
He's like, oh, what's a sortal? Oh, that's
sortal? I don't remember the early Muslims teaching that.
Yeah.
I don't have to hold to that.
What's a sortal?
With relative identity logic, and I'm asking, what is the standard definition that classical logicians use for what does logical consistency mean?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he thinks it's like paraconsistent logic. Exactly. He's thinking it's like actually a different logic system.
I believe you put it in your opening statement.
Yes, it is that there is at least one.
Relative identity is within classical logic. That's why I think it's so funny when someone's like, do you use the classical accounting method? I was like, yes, I use relative identity.
Jake's point doesn't follow. Because what he's basically saying, the system doesn't work because it's implicative of itself. He's basically saying, okay, you hold to this. I don't hold to this. Why don't you hold to this? Well, because it supports your system. Not because it's wrong.
Yeah, it's because it doesn't agree with me and it works for you. So
that's why he keeps on saying, depending on the person. He's like a liberal right now.
Relative identity logic.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't ask whether or not you agree with relative identity logic, and I'm asking, what is the standard definition that classical logicians use for what does logical consistency mean?
I believe you put it in your opening statement.
Yes,
it
is that.
Gosh.
Dude, he doesn't even know. Like, it's crazy how he tries to make absolute identity arguments against us and counting method arguments, but he can't do first order logic to save his life.
He calls himself a metaphysician because if he called himself a logician,
I mean, if he called himself a logician, he'd be a fraud. He'd be a complete fraud.
There is at least one model that has.
That's why I don't call myself a logician, because I'd be a fraud. I'm terrible at logic.
Exactly.
I'm so bad at it, dude.
Provides no contradictions.
Yeah, me too.
And is consistent within itself. So this model that I
too busy studying patristics, you know what I'm saying?
Just gave.
Yeah,
is this logically
Thomas will save you.
Or does it have a contradiction within it?
No, in terms of its own, I mean, I'm repeating the same thing. It's just like there.
Yo, he conceded the whole debate. Dude.
It'd be funny if you just ended the live there, like with some.
Like, all right, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Freaking, we're all done here. You know.
I'm gonna go have a sleepover, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep now. I'll catch you guys later. He conceded the debate. It's over. No,
we just watched SpongeBob the rest of the stream.
Yeah, we just watched SpongeBob the rest of the stream. You guys will get to watch me. Yeah, he actually conceded the debate. That's insane.
Oh my gosh. This is so stupid, dude. He's over here trying to debate the metaphysics of the Trinity.
Yeah, dude. What's that one song?
Not even the metaphysics of the Trinity.
What's that one
He's
song
debating
that people use
EED
as an outro?
I know what you're talking about. Like the one that's like da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah. What is that? I need that.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I have to send it to you.
I gotta do the meme, dude.
Logical systems.
Somebody tell me what that song is. It's like Xeno. Oh, I know it.
He's not a top Islamic debater. That's the thing. He's like,
Genesis.
none of them are top Islamic debaters. Yeah, there you go. It was good seeing you guys.
It was good seeing you guys.
Clearly, we had a concession.
Jake conceded the whole debate. It's just over.
I'll see y'all the next time.
There's nothing left for us to even talk about.
Subscribe to
Bryce J and Isaiah. Check it out.
We're out. Jeez.
Oh man, dude.
Could you imagine just now joining and that's all you see?
People just be like, what the fuck is going on? This is a chaotic stream, dude.
Which accept true contradictions, in which people like Jason.
The problem is I drank a bang before I came down here. You ever had those?
Caffeinated.
Yeah, I'm caffeinated as shit.
Is a logician and philosopher would say that, and it's sometimes called dialethism, that there could be such things.
People on YouTube keep spamming cornball
as true contradictions, and that's fully consistent within the logical system itself.
Listen, I agree.
What's that?
I agree that paraconsistent logic. I agree. I know all of these things. Okay, but I'm asking you.
I can't believe he's conflating paraconsistent logic with relative identity.
There's no way.
In your own logical system, the answer has been the same the entire time. Okay, so in your own logical system, if you're using relative identity logic, then yes, it can be formalized in a consistent manner with.
Dude. I'll catch you guys later. He conceded again. Holy shit.
In its own paradigm.
Okay, so the question is, according to the definition that classical logicians use, which is that for something to be logically consistent, unless you can give a different definition that you can provide a source for, the one that the logicians use is that if...
Are you feeling buzzed yet? A little bit. Yeah. That's why I'm having a lot of fun. You know, I'm chilling tonight. I feel relaxed. You know, I honestly decided within like 2 hours prior to this stream that I was going to do this. So
we can provide at least one model that is consistent, has no contradictions, it can be considered logically consistent. So according to that definition, is the Trinity model that I gave logically consistent? Yes or no?
It all depends on how we're defining logic. That's the whole point.
What? Dude. He just gave a definition and he said, okay, do you have a different definition for this? He said, unless you have a different definition.
I just told you how we define it.
So are you accepting any logical system whatsoever?
We're talking about classical. That's why I said, according to classical, we're talking about classical logic right now. So according to classical logic, I gave you the definition of logical consistency.
Gosh, so relative identity is a theory. It's not a system.
I am answering the question. I'm
saying. So just according to that, I'm not asking about different models. So just yes or no.
It's relevant. It's relevant.
Trinity logically consistent according to this model.
It's consistent in the same way that J.C. Beale's contradictory Christ is consistent.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, he conceded a third time.
Is it consistent according to the classical definition of logically consistent?
3-0 exactly.
Only in the sense in which you use the term logic in such a general way to include all of these different formulations of logic, which I don't accept.
But why don't you accept it, dude?
We're only using one. We're using first order logic.
Yes, and you're using relative identity logic, aren't you?
It's a theory, bro.
It's not its own logic.
It's a theory.
Holy shit. Like, there's no way. It's not its own logic system. Like, dude.
Thing is relative identity logic. Relative identity is just a type of identity operator within first order logic. So again,
yes, you are relativizing identity.
Really, bro? There's no way. Nah, I'm gonna go into that video. I'm posting that crap, dude.
Yeah, what?
That might be the best thing.
We gotta
go back to that.
What kind of response?
Can we go back? Go back.
Yeah, we'll
just like
do that again.
Oh my
Relative
gosh.
identity is just a type of identity operator within first order logic. So again,
Yes, you are relativizing identity.
I win.
Oh my gosh.
There's no way.
we're using the relative identity operator. It's not
Yes,
its own type of logic.
Identity is being relativized. I don't
Bro.
What is that, dude? This
This
is one of the funniest debates I've ever watched in my life.
accept relative identity. That's the point.
Great. Whether or not you accept the relative identity, I'm not asking whether you accept it.
See, relative identity, that's pretty much like gender theory, dude. Like, you guys are just relativizing everything. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Yo, dude, this is the funniest thing.
This is the worst thing ever.
Oh my
asking if there is
gosh.
Yeah, my face when he relativizes my identity, bro. Holy shit.
What's
Contradiction.
relative identity? It's relativizing identity.
according to this view,
What a
or
W.
if we use the Trinity in this formulation, would that be logical?
And I already responded. When you
So, yeah,
say,
correct.
would you say, would that be logical? According to Jake's logical paradigm and according to the logical paradigm that is the standard amongst logicians and philosophers.
Did he just... Yo. Did he just freaking invoke that relative identity is not the standard?
Oh my gosh, dude.
The answer would be no.
I'm not asking according to your paradigm. I'm asking according to the paradigm of classical logicians when they define logical consistency. Is this model I gave logically consistent according to that definition?
Oh man, I think you're missing the point. When you keep using the word logical and logic according to classical logicians, I'm
Relative identity is in classical
I want
logic.
you to-
Try that again.
saying to you,
I really want y'all to think
that
about this too. Some Muslim out there is watching this and he's like, Alhamdulillah, brother, that is a perfect response.
Alhamdulillah.
Perfect response.
Jake is baking Nick right now.
interpretation of that is not
I'm gonna
an
clip that.
all-encompassing buffet of whatever you want to input. I don't accept relative identity or relativizing identity as a genuine aspect.
Brother, please,
of
I'm not
classical-
asking
So he
if you
just
accept
admitted
it.
that relative identity is consistent in of itself.
See y'all later.
6-0.
I'm not asking that. I'm not asking if you use it in your words. It's not what I'm asking. Okay. What I'm asking is, and if you want to deny the definition that I gave a source for as well, for the
I'm
of
just
logical
defining it.
consistency. So I'm not asking about your logic, what you take from, etc. I'm asking using the relative identity operator and the formulation I gave, according to the definition that classical logicians use, is it logically consistent?
No,
Please, is it yes or no?
no.
Oh, it's not? Where's the contradiction at, Jake?
Okay, so great. So then according to my definition, you said you agreed with it, that there must be a contradiction within this. So if you could put it back on
It's consistent off of the individual, of course.
the
Yeah,
screen,
just
and I would
depends
like
on who
to
you're
Depends
talking
on the
to. For
depends
me?
on who you're talking to.
For me, this is not okay.
for the inconsistency here.
Again, I don't know if I'm talking beyond you or you're not understanding me. When you keep
Jake, you've conceded 6 times. Stop.
asking if it's
I don't even
logically
think Jake can read this,
consistent,
honestly.
it means according to what logical system?
I just
According
told
to
you
what?
first order logic.
According to what logical system?
First
and if
order
you're
logic.
asking
He keeps saying first order logic. How is it like it's just whoosh over his head over and over?
me, and if you're asking me, is it consistent in a logical system which accepts identity being relativized? Then the answer is
Oh
yes.
my god, it's not a system, bro.
Dude, stop saying that the identity is being relativized. I'm gonna freaking I am going to shut my computer off if I hear that shit again.
It's so corny, bro. He's like, why? He's like, why is relative identity wrong? And it's like, it's relativizing identity.
Oh
He sounded
my
like
gosh.
William Lane Craig or something, bro.
You see the problem. I can't do that voice. My voice isn't.
You see.
I can't get my voice that high up.
The problem is it's relativizing identity.
Wait.
When we think of God, we cannot relativize the identity, but we can say that God is like the.
Okay.
You see, God. We can't apply relative identity to God.
That's relativizing identity.
I'm a proud social Trinitarian, and I don't think that we can relativize the identity operator because that operator doesn't exist for certain people.
Thank you for coming up to the panel, William Lane Craig. Let's continue.
If it's in a system that does not accept identity being relativized or take that as a genuine standard, then the answer is no.
Okay, does classical logic accept relative identity as a part of a specific model that can be used?
That's debated. Branson, for
Really?
example,
Name one person that disagrees right now. Name one classical logician that disagrees that relative identity does not actually be a part of it. That is not a part of it. One scholar. Jake. Yeah, Jake. Exactly. Thank you. Sorry. All right. I concede.
Example himself seems to think that it doesn't.
Okay, so
What did he say?
specific model that can be used?
That's debated. Branson, for example, himself seems to think that it doesn't.
Counting by division is literally relative identity. Sorry.
Okay, so do you believe it does?
7-0, by the way.
No,
Or are you just saying you don't know?
no.
Okay, why do you believe that?
As I said, because I'm appealing.
Yo, he did the Jay Dyer. Did you hear that? Why do you believe that?
Yo, this is the most basic.
Yo, how do you know that you know that shit?
This is the most baked thing ever, bro.
What's up, Mike?
Yeah. Bro, what Jake is doing is he's saying that relative identity is a non-classical logic, right? He's calling it its own system. And obviously that's just equivocating on models and systems, but the reasoning for this is because, it's relativizing identity. So I guess what I can get from that statement is that he's just saying if you add operators to a system, then it becomes non-classical. But that's obviously false because we have things like modal logic that adds operators, namely possibility and necessity, and that's still considered first order logic. So he's just actually clueless on logic.
Guys, any prayers people can send me to ask for guidance on if I should get chrismated on the 4th? Brother, please get chrismated on the 4th. Are you kidding me? Go enter God's church. Stop it. Stop having doubt. Anyway, thank you, Michael, for the clarification. Isaiah, did you just say confirmation?
What? No, what? I never said that.
Sorry, I thought I heard that.
Appealing to others who are experts
Appreciate it, Michael Maria.
in the field who are saying that no, how you define classical logic or classical identity is going to be understood in a specific way that
Relativize the uncreated foot. No, relativize the uncreated bread.
does not have identity being relativized.
Wait, do you even know how to...
Does he legitimately think that relative identity means relativizing identity? Like, does he actually think that, or is he trolling? Like, there's no way that he's actually like using this rhetoric right now. This is insane.
Like he's picking out.
Like I'm losing my shit right now because of how ridiculous this is. Jake, I used to look up to you, bro.
Someone out there thinks he's genuinely the smartest.
I
muscle.
genuinely thought you were a pretty smart dude. I don't know, 3 years ago.
No, because I mean,
how to read this? Can you put
I watched him discuss with Rumi, and it was even worse, dude. I mean, like, because Rumi was baking him too. Like everybody's got a turn at baking Jake.
I haven't been able to catch him yet, and I'm pissed.
Back on this. Do you know how to read this? Like, do you know what I'm saying here?
Dude, you out of your mind?
Nick, hold him to it. Make him steel man what is on the screen, please. Embarrass him for the rhetoric.
Ask you, it's not. It's okay. It's totally fine.
You're not listening to what I'm saying at all.
Okay, I understand. I'm asking a question. Do you know how to read this?
No, I do not.
Yeah. So the whole time they've been arguing.
Catch you guys later. He made a logic argument and didn't know first order logic. Holy shit. 8-0.
Oh my gosh, we can't read what we're arguing about.
Okay.
None of this has anything to do with what I'm saying.
But it doesn't,
yes,
bro. It does because I told you that. Okay, what is a model?
Run it back.
You're not listening to what I'm saying at all.
Okay, I understand. I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question. Do you know how to read this?
No.
That's so funny, dude.
No.
I don't need to read this to argue about
okay.
None of this has anything to do. None of this has anything to do with what I'm saying.
But it doesn't, bro. It does because I told you that. Okay, what is a model?
I think Nick did terribly this debate, bro. Nick was so bad. Name one thing he got wrong.
Classical logic. What is a model?
Right now, in the chat right now, Blue, put one thing he got wrong in the chat.
Model is a set of premises that are being used to describe.
There's no way that somebody's damage controlling this because this is the worst performance of Jake I've ever seen.
Describe a particular.
And I've actually reviewed previous debates from Jake, and I've actually stuck up for him.
Doctrine.
Did you just say a model is a set of premises, dude? What the hell are we talking about?
What is a model?
Model is a set of premises that are being used to describe a particular doctrine.
Oh my god.
Holy shit, 9-0. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Holy crap, dude.
There's no
what
way
are
that
we...
I'm reviewing this right now.
This guy's not real. There is no way. Yeah, my model is models are just sets of premises to describe a doctrine. Oh my gosh, dude. What an idiot. Relativizing models to a sort of premise, genuinely. What the...
You see, I don't need to be able to read first-order logic to talk about first-order logic, because I have the free will, the libertarian free will, to talk about first-order logic.
That's the type of... I mean, his whole argument is just hitching upon the fact that there's metaphysical problems with EED. That's what he thinks. He's over here arguing that there are freaking uncreated birds. That's his argument.
That's why I'm so excited to get to that.
It's like he's not even arguing for the logicality.
I think he was wrong about what is required for a solution to the LPOE.
Logical problem of evil?
Was evil even addressed? Oh, LPT. What do you have that freaking auto corrected in your phone? Like, how did you mess that up? Never mind. Whatever.
What?
Yeah.
No,
I'm just being disingenuous.
No. That's not okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's not what it is. Okay. What we're talking about when we understand what it is, it's a specific domain.
Hey, make sure you guys share this live with everybody around. We're clowning Jake the Muslim Metaphysician.
That is being used. Okay, it's a specific domain. We can use a identity operator. It's using different logical symbols, etc. This is what I'm giving you. The reason why I asked you that question.
There's no content.
No, the content is the things like the identity operator and the predicate.
What is the content? What is the meaning behind them?
The predicates. Okay, first order logic doesn't deal with content behind the predicates. Okay, that's basically no. Okay, you don't deal with the contents behind the predicates. You deal with the predicates themselves. Okay, so again, the reason why I ask you what am I...
Why is he laughing? He literally said he couldn't even steelman this.
Model is because according to my definition of logically consistent, is, and again, the one I gave, SEP, is that there is one model, which is what I gave you just.
People online on X said Nick said a heresy. Well, I'll let you guys know if I hear that. But as far as I'm concerned right now, I don't really notice anything. God, my voice is getting worse. It's because I'm yelling too much.
Now that there is one.
You guys are gonna like witness my voice completely disappear.
One model in which you can give that is logically consistent. So again, I want to make this very clear and ask one more time. I don't care about any other model. I'm asking according to first order logic and classical logic. Voice, so. I'm asking specifically, would this Trinity model be logical?
No.
Okay, so then again, according to definition.
Okay, so now you have to show why.
That said that there has to be some sort of contradiction within the model itself that that it is illogical. So can you give me the?
It doesn't have to be a contradiction within the model itself. What it is it's contradicting the standard logical framework that's used. You're appealing to SEP, Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. If you look at their entry on identity, it defines classical identity as obeying Leibniz's law, which you are not obeying.
What did he say?
Their entry on identity, the standard logical framework that's used. You're appealing to SEP, Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. If you look at their entry on identity, it defines classical identity as obeying Leibniz's law, which you are not.
Did he just say that he's basically saying, oh yeah, they're biconditional, dude?
Okay, so classical logic didn't exist until 1646. W. Jake, the Muslim metaphysician.
Not obeying.
Wait. You think relative identity goes against Leibniz's law?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so you think the identity operator in Leibniz's law is necessarily absolute identity?
Leibniz's law, yes, it is absolute identity.
Oh, can you not say that A is equal to B?
What, baby? Okay, I'll fix it.
In one sense, and then that proves that they're identical in that sense entirely?
Okay, do you want me to actually bring you up the source from Stanford Encyclopedia to show you what it actually says?
That says that the identity operator is necessarily absolute identity?
It tells you that classical identity is understood as obeying Leibniz's law. And
amen. I agree. This is.
It obeys the conditions.
Is part of the classical logical framework. So if you're not obeying Leibniz's...
Did Leibniz invent classical logic? Like, I don't understand the people that try to do that. Classical logic can be traced all the way back to Aristotle, bro. Like, get out of here with that.
Oh my gosh! And we've Leibniz literally concedes that the Trinity is logical because the identity is relativized.
Law in terms of absolute identity, then you are not obeying a part of the class.
Absolute identity is not even presupposed by classical logic. You have to make an argument for that.
Classical logical structure.
Okay, can you show me a source that necessitates that Leibniz law uses absolute identity as the identity operator?
I can.
Nice, good question.
Show you here.
I don't know how you can show me that when you didn't even know what you didn't even know what an identity operator was 10 minutes ago. I don't know how you're going to show that.
You'll stutter.
Uses absolute identity as the identity operator.
W. Redder.
I can show you here.
I don't know how you.
Yo, we're gonna play that slow mo real quick. I gotta figure out some way to dog on Nick because this is bad.
You show me that when you didn't even know what an identity operator was.
Operator.
I don't know how you're gonna show that.
I got him on something. I always gotta get somebody.
Dude, if you want me to show it to you,
1 minute.
In my own time, so I don't waste your time, but I can show you exactly where the Stanford Encyclopedia entry explicitly states what classical identity is, how it's defined, and what domain it falls under. and yours does not follow that.
Okay,
so
okay. I'll just ask one more question.
It's not part of classical identity.
It's okay. I'll just ask one more question. Okay. What is the formalization of statements such the inference rule determines 3 gods? Do you actually have a formalization of your statements?
Yeah, I gave it in my opening statement here. If I pull it up here, second.
Okay, so we can wait for him to do it, and I'll just ask him one question about that. I assume this will be the last question, so once he pulls that up, I'll ask him one question about it, and then we can move on.
So Branson says, today we count F's by 1, logical subjects that are 2 discernible from, or at least not identical to one another, and are F, that is, if X and Y.
Are you posting this? Yes, it'll be on YouTube after this, but sadly, my entire review is with a shop voice.
I differ in any way and are both F-ish, we count them as 2 Fs. So if you plug the Father and Son, for as an example, just as 2, for simplicity's sake, the Father and Son are logical subjects that are discernible from each other.
Yeah, I'll ask him one more question since he pulled that up.
Not identical to each other, are both F, meaning are both God, and they differ, are both F-ish, so we count them as 2 Fs. We count them as 2 gods.
We're at time. So
yeah, I'll ask him one more since he just pulled that up. I'll just ask him this. What is
he doesn't have to answer though.
Okay, I was going to ask you what's the inference rule for that.
Yeah, it's his time now.
I don't think he knows.
Okay, so all right, so now we're going to throw it over to Jake.
Dude, W rhetoric.
For his 15-minute cross-examination. I will start the timer on your first word, Jake, whenever you're ready.
Okay, 1 second.
What was Bryce's response to the uncreated bird stuff? I already said that, like, those when it's talking about the dove, that when it talks about the bird as form, that would be created, right? When it talks about the bird as substance, or it talks about the way in which it's actually present noetically or spiritually, that would be uncreated. Gosh.
Yeah, so he's basically just conceding transubstantiation because he's really cool.
I mean, I concede transubstantiation because it's
anyways,
that the council.
That is very true. That is very true.
I'm just removing this.
Gotcha.
Again.
See the substance.
What? No.
Jake destroyed Nick. Why are we lying?
Because.
I think you'd have to be a little.
Go watch your show or go to bed. I already told you that. Just watching Jurassic World, like one of the shows. She loves dinosaurs, bro.
Okay, Nick, by what relation do you count?
What?
That's very tough, dude. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Me?
Off topic. Yeah.
Spinosaurus.
That checks out. That checks out from earlier.
Why does that check out?
That does check out. She's like, Dad, just Spinosaurus. Isn't that what you said happened?
Yeah, because she thinks that I'm like addicted to seeing them. So like she'll be like, Dad, you got to see this.
Yeah, bro. That's
elf father. Tough. Why am I an elf father, dude? That's like a crazy thing to say.
Count gods in the Trinity.
Are you asking how we formulate it such that it's one God, or are you asking how we determine it, like in our epistemology?
No, I'm asking.
They are nerfing the Spinosaurus, bro. The Spinosaurus used to definitely be able to one-shot a T-Rex, and now it's weak.
Asking you, how do you
Bryce,
count?
do we have like a dinosaur power scaling stream?
I think so. We should have a stream where we just like tier list like all of the dinosaurs we can think about.
Please, let's actually do that. That's great.
Sure, if you're asking how we formulate it, it's going to be using the relative.
Their fighting abilities and like who would win.
Okay, so what makes it such that there's only one God in the Trinity?
Yeah, given that
Brachiosaurus for the win. Oh, holy low tier.
In our set of statements,
you think size means that they're going to win?
There's only going to be one sortal.
For real.
One sortal, and what is that one sortal?
The sortal is going to stand for God.
Wait,
what's going to be that one
in
sortal?
Our set of statements, there's only going to be one sortal.
One sortal, and what is that one sortal?
What the hell do you mean, dude?
He's on another planet. He's actually on another planet. Like, there's no way.
He's got to own like a. This is a vape shop. He's just like.
This is a vape shop. He's debating from a vape shop right now. Is Bryce a young Earth creationist? Yes, dinosaurs lived with the first humans. Debate me on it. What? Go get one. Oh, then eat it. Oh, you don't know how to peel it. Okay, I'll open it.
Is he talking about a banana, chat? Yeah, W dad, W father. Yeah, that makes sense. Can we have like a banana opening stream?
You guys aren't allowed to know my technique on how I open bananas.
He just bites into it.
I just rip it open.
The sword was going to be stand for God.
Chuck Norris, man.
Okay, and what are the...
No, my daughter came to the door and she's like, Dad, can I have a banana? I'm like, sure, why not? She's like,
I have a banana.
I have a banana already. I'm like, okay, then eat it. And she's like, I don't know how to open it. I'm like, okay. That's why I had to go.
criteria to fulfill that sort of...
And then Bryce says, what's the
Sordal
semantic
itself doesn't
content?
Yeah, so what's the semantic range that you're invoking here?
have any underlying criteria more than just what it is itself, right? A Sordal is just going to be a standard counting. It's going to be
I can't believe Nick is just teaching him.
in place of a counting method. So it's going to be formalizing a certain statement. It doesn't say what the thing is itself.
How do you know what it is?
Yeah, we don't. We don't say what it is. We simply say it's God. It's standing in place for what we formalize. So
when
we
you
say we know it's God, we don't know exactly what the attributes of this God is.
Oh my gosh.
So when
he's
you say
bringing up the
God, there's
Dawa
no
script.
content behind it?
Yeah, the content behind it is going to have to do with epistemology. So we have content behind it, but it's going to have to do with the epistemology of the thing,
is
the
the
metaphysics, not of the
What
logic.
is the content?
Yeah, I mean, I'll answer the question, but it has nothing to do with the logic of the Trinity. The
It does
content
have to
behind
do
it
with
is
it
going to be,
because what you
yeah, the
don't
content
understand
behind it is
is
obviously going to be what we believe the Christian God to be.
Yo, W humility for answering the question and W low key timer maxing.
Okay, and who defines that?
What do you mean, who? I'm defining it in the statement.
Who defines what the Christian God is and the paradigm in which one is the same God and the other
He's
isn't?
buying time, dude. What
The
is he
church?
talking about? Yeah, dude, like what the hell? He's like, John Calvin.
Yeah, who determines what we call God?
This
Who
is such
says
a
that?
William Lane Craig thing, dude. Like,
Who
Who
determines?
actually determines what determines?
Wait. Wait, it's a meme for the rest of the stream.
Oh my gosh.
So what's actually going to determine the Christian paradigm when you say sortal God? What's going to be the definition? Or who is going to be the authority? Because I have to appeal to other people in the middle of my logic debate.
Thank you. I gotta drop you again.
Again, this has nothing to do with the topic, but to me, the Orthodox Church.
The Orthodox Church.
Yep.
Gotta drop
Okay,
you.
so how do they know what it is? How do they define it?
Yeah, but how do they know what they know?
Oh my gosh, dude. I should not be laughing this much watching a Trinity debate. There's Servant of the Merciful. We should get his opinion on it, dude.
Divine revelation.
Divine revelation. Okay, where does divine revelation tell you the criteria for counting as the same sortal God or not?
We don't. We
Is
use
he
the
appealing
formalization of
to the-
statements for that.
Revelation.
He's appealing to
Okay, where does
revelation.
divine revelation tell you the criteria for counting as the same sortal God or not?
On Not Three Gods by St. Gregory of Nyssa, goober.
Dude,
Did he read the work? Oh, it's gonna make my voice go away because I'm pissed
This
now.
man appealed
Just
to freaking
read
divine
the
revelation.
freaking work, Jake. Read the whole work, not the first two paragraphs. It explains how to count gods.
This is a metaphysics mic.
He didn't even
bro.
read it.
It's like, where in the Bible does it say that?
We don't. We use the formalization of statements for that.
So it doesn't tell you. There's no. What you're doing here is, and what everybody needs to see is, Nick is putting symbols on a page and saying these symbols are consistent with its own system, but
That'd be
there's
concession.
no actual content that you're providing behind the symbols. Correct?
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the model of the Trinity. The content has to do with the metaphysics, which we can provide, but again, it has nothing to do with the topic.
Okay.
of the
So
debate.
what are the? It's not about the metaphysics. It's about how you are counting and arriving at there being one God.
You're invoking metaphysics with this whole freaking debate, Jake. You're thinking that a logical counting method, right, invokes the metaphysics or the ontology of the God we're talking about. Like, you think that a counting method, this is what I said at the very beginning, you think that even if I were to concede absolute identity invokes three gods, that then means ontologically God, that the Trinity is three gods? You're an idiot if you think that's how that works. Because counting methods don't invoke ontology. It just invokes reference. And he doesn't even know that. He thinks he just collapses them into one category.
And the thing is, like, the first 30 minutes, he was trying to critique something that he didn't even know how to read, bro. He didn't even know how to read.
No.
That they're one God because they are one sortal.
If he would have just read the rest of On Not Three Gods, I think that he would have become a Christian.
What is that one sortal?
Yeah, the one sortal, again, if we want to get into metaphysics, is going to be the people that have the omni properties.
Okay, so having the omni properties is sufficient for counting as one God.
Yeah, that's what we define as one God, is going to be the being that has the omni properties.
And those are all essential properties. So sharing the same essential properties is sufficient for counting as one God?
Specifically the omni properties, yeah.
Okay. So what's the difference between that and the case of human beings, Peter, James, and John, when it comes to the example that I gave from Gregory of Nyssa?
That is a
human beings
metaphysical
are
argument,
potentially instanced, while God.
Look at him freeze. He's frozen. The jinns are in his computer.
Gods are not potentially instanced because God has no potential under divine simplicity.
You cut out on my end. Can you repeat the last 10 seconds?
Yes, it's okay. Because humans are potentially instanced while God is not. So we would believe that humans are particulars while gods are not particulars.
Yes, instantiations versus God not being an instantiation at all. Nice.
Okay, and what establishes that gods are potentially not potentially instanced, but humans are?
Dude,
Yeah,
what
the
are you
fact-
talking about?
What did he say?
Particulars while gods are not particulars.
Okay,
basically
and
saying,
what
why are they
establishes
particulars?
that gods are potentially not potentially instanced, but humans are?
Epistemically, God is pure act. Bite me. Argument from motion presupposes that God is pure act. Now what?
Yeah, the fact that we believe God is pure act.
Boom.
W. Elliot.
Holy moly.
Why isn't
Christ-like
God
mind.
instantiated?
Christ-like mind.
And he has no potential because potential would lead to change, meaning that he's not perfect.
What does it mean for God to not have to be pure act and not change? You mean
What?
Has no potential because potential would lead to change, meaning that he's not perfect.
what does it mean for God to not have to be pure act and not change?
Is he a metaphysician?
Dude,
How does he not know what that means?
Why is servant saying Bryce bring
Dude,
me
I'm not
up?
bringing nobody
Servant.
up today. I'm doing a reaction stream.
Yo, what is he talking
I don't give a daggone damn a damn what servant thinks today. I'm reviewing a debate.
You mean in any sense?
No, I mean specifically passive potential.
Bryce,
Okay.
you know.
So do you believe
I'm
that
sure I did.
God acts in succession and does different things at different times?
Wouldn't say it's act in succession, but I would say he has active potential.
What do you mean? He doesn't, did he, okay, let me ask it this way. Do his energies have a beginning in time?
By the way,
Oh my
I'm precogging this. I'm prophesying right now. He's going to quote Saint Gregory Palamas, Triads, Book 3. Just to prove that
The thing
he's
is, we
that
could just say
predictable. Just to prove that
God-
he's not that predictable. That he's that predictable.
The God in secondary
Triads
act
3. Triads 3.
to will things.
If you mean that they temporally manifest,
No,
yeah,
he's gonna quote mine, Saint Gregory Palamas, with that question. I know exactly where that question goes.
but it's not a beginning to them itself.
It's not a beginning to them themselves. So his energies only have a beginning in manifesting, but the energy itself doesn't have a beginning.
Isaiah, you're about to witness greatness.
Correct.
And what's your justification for that according to the Orthodox Church?
That the
You see how he's setting them up for it?
energies are eternal according to St. Gregory Palamas.
Well, why does he say that some of them are not eternal?
Yo, it's like it's a book, and I just read it.
Like what? Which ones are eternal?
Okay, let me ask it this way. According to Gregory Palamas, are all of the energies eternal?
Yeah, eternal in their ontology, yes, not in their...
Oh my gosh. Dude, there's no way.
Triads 3. I know exactly what this argument is.
manifestation.
Okay, so why does Gregory...
What?
You have to go back
Later
after this.
on, go lay down. I'm going to have to put you to bed in your own room if you're going to keep that up. I don't know.
Eternal is also not rigid. What does that even mean? We're not
Give me one
like a
second.
designator? Servant, dude, you're a goober, bro. Just get out of here, man. You're just saying words. I can cook, Bryce. You've never done that before. Everyone on the panel that has ever came up on Bryce's panel, I can assuredly say, as long as they have like some type of authority, why should we even accept Kripke semantics? You're using buzzwords. You can cook me now. Your argument against the Trinity is the fact that there are actions, there are imminent acts within the Trinity, and because the Son does not beget anything, and because the Holy Spirit does not spire anything, they cannot be the same God. You're an idiot, bro. But because act is a category of being, and it's denoted as an accident only insofar as the being in or the absolute concept is accidental in the thing itself, just as a person picking up something is an act. Because the act is eternal in God, it's not an accident, and it's actually necessary in God. So God, the Father, begets the Son because it's an intellectual procession. It's a perfect image of the Father. Your argument doesn't even work, bro.
Anyway. Let me make sure my stuff is good. All right.
Easy
say
bake.
the exact opposite.
Easy bake.
Oh, where does he say that their ontology is created?
Okay, so you don't know.
Good question. That is a good thing to ask when that argument is invoked.
Your own churches.
Where does it actually say that the ontology is created, or that the ontology has a beginning?
Please show me.
Theology. So I'm going to have to show you what that is.
I would love to see where he said the
Actually
ontology
relevant,
is created.
which is what's that? Sorry.
I would love to see where he says the ontology, the energy is created. Please.
Okay, so I'm going to read that quote in just.
By the way, he doesn't even say that even the manifestation is created. That's the best part. He says that the manifestation has a beginning, but it doesn't mean that it's created. That's what it actually says in Triads 3. That's the best part. He actually misread Triads and thought that it was arguing that he was confirming energies are created, like an idiot, because he doesn't actually read our fathers.
Just a second. Do you believe that anything that has a beginning in time is created?
If you're talking about its manifestation, no, it's not necessarily created. If you're talking about its ontology, then yes.
The statement, anything that has a beginning in time.
Yeah, this is Triads 3. This is literally Triads 3.
Is created. Is that true or false?
Are you talking about ontology or are you talking about manifestation?
Statement. I'm making
When should I start reading on philosophy and metaphysics? When your spiritual life is good to go.
a general statement. Listen again.
It's not
anything that has a beginning in time is created. Is that a true statement or a false statement?
Not if you're just talking about manifestation, no.
So it's a false statement. So there could be
If
things.
you're regarding manifestation as well, then yes, it's false.
Bruh. Let me put it like this. Do you think that if something goes from being invisible to visible, that automatically means it's going from non-being to being? Holy shit, Jake. Like, are we serious? Like, this is the way that he's arguing right now. He's making the argument that the manifestation having a beginning necessitates that it's created in of itself. That is so dumb. Because guess what? In his own view, he's cooked now. Because Allah, in his view, is not visible until the day of judgment. So that means that Allah doesn't exist until the day of judgment. With his own logic.
Some of them just like bite the bullet, bro. And they're just like, yeah, Allah's spatio-temporal. Like we could probably fly.
Exactly. Baked. W reductio.
So there could be things that have a beginning in time which are uncreated.
Yo, Blue is actually schizophrenic. Like, I am 100% confident of it. I didn't think Nick would make... Name the mistake, please. Name the mistake that he made.
He's talking about when it manifests, then yes.
Oh, he's rage bait.
I'm talking about a general statement. There has nothing to do. You can fill in whatever you want.
Basic clarify. Are you asking about its ontology or its manifestation? Which one?
I'm asking, in general, is anything that has a beginning in time uncreated?
Again, if you're talking about manifestation, it can have a beginning or it cannot. If you're talking about its ontology, no, its ontology cannot be created. But again, none of this has to do with the Trinity being logical. This is crazy.
It actually does, because you're making the claim, and this is what you don't understand. You're making the claim that your system is consistent. I'm going into the details of your system.
You're going into the metaphysics of it.
Hold on a second.
He's being consistent by saying that just because something manifests in time and space doesn't mean that it begins to exist in time and space. Do you know what manifest means? Manifestation means that it's something that's being made visible or being made known. That's all that means. It has nothing to do with its ontology.
Asking the question now. As soon as we start to do so, you start fumbling. You don't even know that there are uncreated energies that have a beginning in time. You said all of them are eternal.
I'm still waiting on you to show me the quote of him saying its ontology has a beginning. Still waiting on it. You haven't showed it, probably because you don't have it.
I will show that to
you.
Yeah,
so you will later, but it's never going to happen.
Here he says that there are, however, energies of God which have a beginning and an end, as all saints will confirm. Our opponent, meaning Nick, thinks that everything which has a beginning is created. This is why he has stated that the only reality...
Did you read, I don't know, anything after that statement in Triads 3?
Is mommy ASMR ASN? What are we asking?
He literally specifies what he means by energy in that passage, like right after that statement. It means manifestation in that context.
Only one reality is unoriginate.
Where does Nissa say it's about the ontology?
Let me finish.
You haven't even asked the question.
Let me finish. You asked me.
Oh, blunder from Nick. He thought he was talking about Gregory of Nyssa. Oh!
Where does Nyssa? That's over.
Oh, he said Nyssa. Oh, he's talking about Polymath, Nick. Come on.
To read the quote, now I'm reading it.
You haven't even getting a citation for it.
The essence of God, adding that.
L blunder from Nick. Can I get an L in the chat for Nick? Holy shit.
Yeah, he really lost this debate.
Oh my gosh, debate's over, dude. Freaking 11-1.
11-1, yeah. W rhetoric from Jake. forcing
Nick SWV.
What is not the essence derives from a created nature. So now I'm going to ask you.
What's the citation?
First of all,
hey, Bryce, the GC got a pre-less infection. Yeah, I'm about to delete that group chat. That shit was a mistake.
First of all, it's not Nyssa. It's Gregory Palamas. It's Greg.
Would you agree with him that the manifestation is corrected or created? I believe that every manifestation to a degree is created for the unenlightened. So if God wants a theophany to appear to all men, that he would include things that are created in the manifestation. Like Leviticus 9, it says that all of Israel saw the fire, the glory pillar, It's dogmatic in the Orthodox Church that in order to be able to see the uncreated energies, you have to actually be enlightened with your nous. Leviticus was during the time where Moses was providing the law to the Israelites, meaning that they were still plagued with idolatry. So they weren't awakened. Their nooses were not aligned with God's will yet, but they still saw the pillar.
Gregory Palamas, the triad. Let me finish.
Palamas and Philotheos Kokkinos both agree that the unenlightened do not see the uncreated energies.
Let's let Jake ask the question.
So God utilizes created things with every theophany so that it could still be a sign, but it may not be spiritually connected to the unenlightened.
Gregory Palamas, the triads. Now, do you believe that the energies are uncreated realities?
Yes, they're uncreated realities which begin.
Reality as ends, ENS, as in being, as in it's a simpliciter, right? It's casual when we say that.
And manifesting within time.
I like
okay, how many uncreated realities are there in God?
Yeah, we don't have a.
You just say infinite. Infinite ends.
Specific. We don't make a specific number to it.
Is there one or more than one?
In ontology, there's one.
Okay, and each there in ontology, there one.
Absolutely.
In reality, how many?
In ontology, all Nick means there is material identity. In material identity, there's simply just one.
Are there?
In ontology, in reality, they're one.
So, are there multiple realities?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a metaphysician, by the way.
Yeah. All Nick is saying here is that there is one insofar as the res, or the actual materia, or the ontology of God. There is just one ontology of God. If you're talking about realities as in ends, ENS, infinite, what's the issue? We're talking about the things in res, the things that are in the res.
Not if you're talking about ontology, no.
What else would be different between reality and ontology?
Yeah, you could be talking about the effect of them or their conception.
No, I'm talking.
I don't know what that meant. Did you catch that?
What?
About ontology.
Nick's argument there.
What else would be different between reality and ontology?
Yeah, you could be talking about the effect of them or their conception.
No, I'm talking about the actual entity itself.
Okay, so the entity is going to regarding the ontology. So there's one.
Okay, I think he's saying that we.
Okay, that's 11-2.
Okay, so there's only one uncreated reality in God.
Yes, and ontology, yes.
Okay, so why does Gregory Palamas say exactly the opposite? He says, our opponent thinks that everything which has
What? Tell me what?
Yo, servant, you are an idiot,
Okay,
bro.
Go lay down.
the beginning is
Go lay down.
Just letting you know.
Go lay on the couch.
created. This is why he, the opponent, has stated that only one reality is unoriginate, the essence of God, adding that what is not this essence derives from a created nature.
Yeah, how does that refute my view? Because he's talking about the actual reality of the thing in terms of its effect.
He's talking about the energy.
Is he talking about the ontology of it?
Yes, he says the reality. He says his opponent thinks that there's only one reality, which is
the only thing in reality about God the ontology?
That's what I just asked you. What is the difference between ontology and reality in this conversation?
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, it's genuinely getting bad, bro. It's like, mind you, they were talking about like the logic of the Trinity. Now they're talking about Gregory Palamas.
Did
Saint Gregory Palamas.
Did he deadass just ask? Like, did he just say I'm talking about the reality, not the ontology?
Yeah, he's basically. That's why I asked you, man. Like, how are they different? Bryce J, can you go ahead and give me the difference between reality and ontology? Go ahead.
I don't know.
All right, W concession, I win. Peace out, guys. I appreciate the support. Thank you, servant of the
Because he can
merciful.
also manifest, and its manifestation can be distinct from the reality itself.
No. Okay. Another quote from Palamas. As Basil the Great says, and I quote, "Is it not ridiculous to say that the creative power is an essence? Similarly, that providence is an essence and foreknowledge, simply taking every essence as energy." And the divine Maximus says, "Goodness and all."
Oh my gosh. This is a reductio argument. There's no way. Dude, I'm getting pissed. Like, I'm starting to actually get pissed off at these arguments. This argument that Palamas is giving is a reductio. He's trying to show that there's a distinction between essence and energies, because we would never call the energies an essence.
Same thing as like going to like objection 1 and appealing to like objection 1 in the Summa. Be like, yeah, St. Thomas argued this.
Oh my gosh, there's actually no way that he's using a reductio as an argument against Nick.
All that the word implies.
Pretty sure this is in the 150 chapters on theology.
All life absolutely, all immortality, and all the attributes that appertain essentially to God are works of God and do not have a temporal beginning. Non-being, that is to say, is not anterior to virtue, nor to any of the realities mentioned above, even
just talking about energies,
though the beings which participate in them began to exist in time. None of these things is the essence of God. Neither the uncreated goodness nor the unoriginate eternal life. All these exist. So now I'm asking you, he says explicitly that these are uncreated realities and uncreated things.
He thinks that if you say that something exists, that means that it's an essence. Like, automatically, like simpliciter. That's such a dumb reductio. Like,
all res is essay. All res is ends, man.
Ugh, I'm actually just getting mad at this.
How many uncreated realities and things are there within God?
He didn't read these works.
Again, in Ontology 1 and Manifestation multiple.
What does reality mean? It's not ontology?
You think, no, reality isn't only ontology. Wait, is manifestation not in reality? Is manifestation not in reality?
Manifestation is technically a representation of reality, but doesn't actually reflect the fullness. But hey, I'll let that one go. I will not xenogenesis that one.
This is so pathetic. You really don't even
manifestation is not reality.
Really bad. And I thought Mr.
No, Satan. He's not going to take an L for that one. I get where he was coming from.
99 ontology.
11 to 2.5.
Back to bite you. So let's move on.
That's crazy.
Since you didn't solve the LPT and you didn't solve the essence energy distinction problem.
The essence energies distinction problem.
Yo, what the hell is he talking about?
Where was the problem?
He didn't even say it. He's just rhetoric maxing right now. He just laughed after he said, yeah, manifestation.
The logical problem of EED, where's that at? I'd like to hear that.
Do you believe in uncreated birds?
Yo, there's no way. Can we go?
Hey, William Lane Craig, can you come up here real quick and explain the issue with uncreated birds?
So, when we're talking about God manifesting, and we say that he visibly shows himself as a bird, since God is eternal and his energies are uncreated, the bird's got to be uncreated. So you believe in uncreated birds.
Thank you.
What's going to be the argument?
What's going to be the argument against that?
And uncreated birds? I don't know what this guy do with alcohol.
What the hell is he laughed after he said, you didn't answer the LP2. You didn't answer EED.
You didn't answer the logical problem of EED.
Do you believe in uncreated birds?
You created uncreated birds, Nick?
That's like a first date question.
But no, I don't believe in uncreated birds. No.
The Trinity. Do you believe in uncreated birds?
What does this got to do with the Trinity? How does EED have anything to do with the Trinity itself?
It doesn't have anything to do with.
I don't believe in uncreated birds. That has nothing to do with the topic.
Okay,
so when it says that on Pentecost that the Holy Spirit descended as a dove, you're going to tell me that that wasn't really the Holy Spirit?
It's just a random bird.
No. The Trinity. Do you believe in uncreated birds?
He asked it again.
It's just like
I don't believe in uncreated birds. That has nothing to do with the topic.
Okay, so when the Holy Spirit appeared and descended in bodily form as a dove, was that a created dove or an uncreated? It said like dove?
Oh my gosh, it's like oh my gosh, dude. There's no
Called his question.
It's just like every time you pause, like Nick looks like a goober, dude, and then just Jake looks so serious. He's like,
wait, hold on.
He's like, uncreated birds.
Uncreated birds. What shall I do with this information?
It's great, bro. Some fathers do interpret it to be an actual dove, though, like Chrysostom.
No. Let's continue.
Dove. It doesn't say he was a dove.
Was he a dove or not?
No, he descended like a dove.
Did he appear as a dove?
It doesn't say how he appeared. It just says how.
Manifesting doesn't determine ontology. Holy shit. Like, there's no way. Like, he's literally saying appear as. He appeared as a dove.
Yakavos, nobody's picking up on the argument that Jake is making because nobody can understand him, bro.
How he descended, and it was like a dove.
So he didn't appear as a dove. It's a yes or no.
It doesn't say whether he did or not. All it says is how he descended.
Did God appear as a fire in the Old Testament?
He appeared within a fire.
Leviticus 9 reference?
Not as the fire itself. It says he was within the fire.
Was the
W exegesis.
Fire created or uncreated?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm scared to hear the answer to this.
I would assume that the fire was created. Don't have any.
I can see what he means. That right there, I'm pretty sure that there was probably people on Twitter that lost their shit hearing that. I guarantee it. There was probably multiple people that probably heard that and they were just like, he believes in created effects, like immediately. He's basically a Roman Catholic.
Yeah, based Augustinian post.
He said it was created. He's Catholic. No, there's a way in which we say that as well. Okay.
The fire
was.
Jay Dyer says he disagreed. I know. I saw a clip apparently of him not being okay with that answer.
Fire was created. Okay, when Jesus, do you believe that the angel which wrestled with Jacob was the Son in the pre-incarnate state?
Well, yes, I believe the angel of the Lord was the Son.
Okay, and was the angel
of office?
Yeah, Fleetus.
Yeah,
that's a good point. A lot of these people that try to say things like, oh, the fire itself is uncreated, like the fire itself. Okay, so if it's uncreated, that means that it's eternally actualized. So that means that fire is being eternally actualized.
Eternally active burning bush.
I mean, do you really want to hold to that? Do you really want to hold to that? I wouldn't.
Appearance is how he appears as a manifestation of the uncreated.
Was that manifestation created or uncreated?
Yeah, the manifestation itself was uncreated, but manifestation itself was created.
What?
Manifestation of the uncreated.
Was that manifestation created or uncreated?
Yeah, the manifestation itself was uncreated, but manifestation itself was created.
What the hell are you talking about, man?
Yo, Nick, what are you on about, bro? That's
Nick,
it.
bro,
You just pee and not peed, by the way.
Yeah, I don't really. It sounded better in his head, bro.
Holy shit, can I get a 12-3 counter?
What? Repeat that again.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think that's a 12-4 at that point, bro. That was great rhetoric. Oh my gosh. Great rhetoric.
Low key, I get why Jake acted like that. I get it. All right.
W rhetoric.
I get it.
The manifestation itself, who appeared within it, is uncreated. So who appeared within it is uncreated. The manifestation itself is created.
Am I stupid or did I not catch that again?
So,
The manifestation
which-
itself, who appeared within it, is uncreated. So who appeared within it is uncreated. The manifestation itself is created.
Yo, Nick, we got to talk. I'm just playing. But, like, I don't know what... I don't know what your argument is here, bro.
He's basically, I think he's trying to say that which is manifested is uncreated, but that which is shown manifest is created.
Maybe that's a.
Okay, so the manifestation itself was created. So there was something created with respect to the wrestling of the angel.
Yes, meaning that the manifestation was not eternal.
Man,
Yes, there's a general created vision from God's Theophanies. Okay, there's nothing wrong with affirming that, but in every single one of these Theophanies, there's always an internal realization of the uncreated that exists within it, right? And that's only seeable by enlightened people.
you're going to be in trouble with Jay Dyer. He's going to have to teach you your theology.
Jay Dyer fallacy, Bo Branson fallacy.
1 minute.
J. Dyer fallacy, Bo Branson fallacy.
1 minute.
So now we're going to get to what about the fire at Pentecost? Was that created or uncreated?
It doesn't say.
What?
Come on, Nick.
He's rhetoric, man.
Yeah, that's a rhetoric. That's a rhetoric, Max.
Do you believe?
I don't have a specifically. It doesn't say.
It doesn't say. So you don't know if it's created or uncreated.
Doesn't say. Why would I make an assertion one way or the other?
Oh, come on, Nick.
Why are we're doing what Jake has been doing? Well, I mean, it depends on what position you hold to for relative identity. I mean, it's just like, I mean,
Depends on how you interpret it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Okay.
if you
So
want,
you
if
don't know.
want.
Yeah, because it doesn't say. What are we talking about? What does
If
it
you
say?
actually read Orthodox theology, you would know that they say that it's uncreated.
Oh, like who?
So,
No true
yeah,
Scotsman
so-
fallacy.
question.
So
Even
Yeah,
let's
W
go
rhetoric.
back to the last question. Do you believe Muslims and Christians worship the same God?
Nope.
Is that because they have distinct attributes
De dicto or de re? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
W.
Kidding.
or properties?
Because your God has 99 ontologies and mine doesn't.
No, screenshot this, please. Get a screenshot. No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh, that's really good.
A mog and a mogged. Let me put that in the general chat real quick on the Discord. Boom.
We distinguish between that which is mogged and that which is mogging.
Okay, so having a different property.
Literally dude, that's a relation of opposition.
Yeah, that's an opposition. we can found a real distinction upon that.
Hold on. Tell me this isn't a relation of opposition right here.
That which is mogged versus that which is mogging.
Holy moly.
W opposition of relation. I just zoomed in on his like.
Sorry, my bad.
You know,
That's my
this
bad.
is W hating.
Makes them
Bro.
count as a distinct God.
Yeah, having different ontologies makes them
Okay,
count
so
as
why, when the Father and Son have different ontologies, one is begotten and the other isn't, why does that now count as a
the Father and the Son?
Pano in the freaking Discord just said the Mog and from the Mog.
Don't have
Wait, hold on. Is the Mogger the Mogger because he is mogging? Or is the Mogger because he's the Mogger? Oh my gosh.
He's doing a switch act.
Bryce, do you want to have a debate on that really quick? Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my
Hold
God.
on. I'm crying.
Oh my days.
Oh. I'm actually crying.
Why does it not count as a different?
We're at time.
Yeah, let me
They don't have different ontologies in our view. Oh,
No.
Also,
Let
we're
me
just
give
going to
you an
talk
answer,
about
Nick,
the
is that-
fact. We're not going to talk about the fact that he just said the Father and the Son have different ontologies because begetting. He thinks an act supposes a different reality.
Every time. They always think that.
I'm obligated to ask or to answer, but go ahead.
Okay, so just finishing the question is, then why doesn't the Father and Son, who have distinct properties and therefore are distinct, why do they not count as two gods?
the same way you didn't answer my question about what the inference rule was, I'll decline
Rhetoric.
to answer yours.
Oh,
Unless
no.
you want to answer my question about inference rule, and then I'll answer that one.
All right, we're going to go to the 5-minute close. So
No, Michael,
What's the
I'm not
criteria
saying
for counting?
begetting. I'm not saying begetting isn't
Question
an
that
act.
really makes sense.
He
with
just
at
thinks
the
that it's
end, because
a real
those
ontological
words
property.
don't really all go together. But anyway,
All right.
you have to believe in
Little
uncreated
Q&A
birds
section.
and fires. It's going to
Then
be
we're
hard
done.
on the mushrikeen more than it already was.
all right, thank you for your closing there. I appreciate it. All right.
Why is he holding his coffee like that?
All right, so now we're going to go to the 30-minute Q&A. I'll jump right in. If there is a question that is
Yo, Michael, are you rejecting that it's an imminent act?
relevant,
Exactly. It is an imminent act.
neither of the speakers have to engage with it. So if they feel like this is way too irrelevant,
What? Soon. Yep. All right.
Yeah, it's an imminent act, meaning that the SAN or the absolute concept or the way in which
relevant for
the action is founded upon is God himself. So it's not like an accident.
the debate
As we
topic, they can
said.
just say no. But let me dive right in here. I'm going to start with this one first. Question: is there going to be a part 2 for Tawheed? That it depends on if both debaters are interested in that.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't know if Jake's doing those or not. I know he's been shifting into moral debates, but up to him. We can set that up or whatever he wants to do.
Are you waiting for me? I mean, I can answer the question too. I don't mind doing a debate on Tawhid. I've debated it numerous times with many Christians.
All right, we'll
Especially Nick, where he admitted that God has 99 ontologies.
talk about setting that up maybe in the future if whenever Jake and Nick are available. Quick comment. Thanks for doing this. Question for Jake: if not the Trinity, what do you think the Bible teaches? Partialism, modalism, etc.
I don't think that the Bible has one specific theology, so I don't assume that all authors throughout the Old and New Testament have the same theologies. For example, I think in the Old Testament, there are aspects which are more monotheistic, others which are henotheistic, and allows for the existence of all these other kinds of gods.
Wait, hold on,
which
no. Can we back up just really quickly? Because if we say that the Injil is corrupted, is the corruption on the basis of multiple different people, or just over time to where? Because I don't really understand this. Because if you're saying that there was a time in which it was uncorrupted in the doctrine, that was revealed shows that Isa or Jesus is, as they would say, quote unquote, like not God and just like a prophet, right? You know, these different books. Is it not the case that we can prove that Jesus is not God in the Bible? Or is he literally conceding that we can prove that? Because I think that's what he's literally conceding that right now.
W concession, I guess.
There are aspects which are more monotheistic, others which are henotheistic, and allows for the existence of all these other kind of gods. You just can't worship them. And then in the New Testament, I think it's a bit.
It's a common misconception to believe that Christianity is henotheist because of the flag. Like, so people have actually asked me that question, like at my work. Because I actually am one of those people that will say, yes, I believe that beings like Zeus and Jupiter, right? I believe they existed. But I just believe they're fallen angels. They're created.
W just a martyr.
Right? Like I hold that like all of the Greek gods, the Roman gods, the Egyptian gods, that they existed as literal entities. They were just fallen angels. I believe that. I believe there's way too much similarity between the entire planet of pagan religions for that to not be a coincidence, or for that to be a coincidence.
I agree with what you're saying. Saint Justin Martyr's true. He's just like, yeah, I believe in a God. I just don't believe in you guys.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that we're henotheists, because henotheism believes that there's a ton of equal gods, but there's only one that you're supposed to worship. See, in our view, there is only one true God. All of the other things are falsely equivocated as God.
Bit of a mixed
That's not henotheism.
bag as well. I don't think that Paul and Matthew and all of the authors have the same theology. So it's a bit of a difficult question to answer, but I don't think it teaches partialism or modalism. That's for sure. And
Octavian for $10. Thank you very much, brother. He says, bro, what's up with the candlelight hetero romantic ambience? What happened to the gay disco light?
Oh my gosh, dude.
All right, look, my kids keep messing with it, so it's out for the count right now. Do you not like the romantic candle lit?
Also, he's drinking.
Yeah, man. I don't want no like crazy shit in my background.
He's relaxing.
Because I'm relaxing in the nice little moonlight, in the candlelight, you know what I'm saying?
And I'll throw a bone and say that I think the Trinity is more probable on the New Testament than partialism or modalism.
Well, thank you for that. Jake, how would you answer the Quranic dilemma whilst...
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with the debate?
Still staying consistent in your critique of the LPT. If the Quran created or uncreated, how would you reconcile this with without coming Tawheed or Shirk, etc.?
I mean, Tawheed is what they would want to be.
How would one reconcile that?
His question.
And like I know that obviously the point of that question, it is a good question in a general sense, simpliciter. But
Can you stop, dude? Oh my god,
simpliciter.
You see that? Y'all see the eyebrow raise right there? It's like simpliciter.
Simpliciter.
The Logi. I'm sorry. Don't do it. Don't stop.
Did somebody say St. Maximus?
This question really makes sense at the end because those Arabic words don't really all go together. But anyway, how would I answer the Quranic dilemma while staying consistent in your critique of the LPT? Is the Quran created or uncreated? We believe.
Oh, I get it a little bit more now.
That the Quran, the Arabic Quran, is uncreated. That it was a speech act of God. Like, as opposed to Nick, I mean, I'm actually more Eastern Orthodox than he is in this respect. All of God's actions are uncreated. So when God speaks, whether it's in the Old Testament, if it's genuine revelation, and or
Yo, he thinks that temporal acts are acts that happen at a certain time.
No. Octavian sent me $10 and said, "What is with this candlelight hetero-romantic ambience?" Because my light looks like there's a candle on my camera because it's like dark in the back, but then there's like a little light right here. I didn't actually light a candle. I swear.
W rhetoric, bro.
My wife actually busted down my door because she thought I actually lit a candle.
It's like allegory of the cave, bro.
Allegory of the cave. Holy shit.
Yeah, from our POV, bro, it's a candle, you know.
Yeah.
Or the Quran itself,
Couple more
we
minutes
believe
and
that
then we're
all
gonna
of
get out of
God's actions are uncreated. So yes, the Quran as a speech action of God would be uncreated.
Another generous super chat. Jake, beginning in Triads 3 refers not to being, but manifestation, to the energy's activity towards creation. You equivocate on beginning. He is I'll skip that, but he says, justify how beginning means ontological origin. I think that's the part I wanted to get to there.
Yeah, I mean, I can go back and read the quotes again, but it literally uses the word reality and thing. So
like, there's just no way that this is the level that this man works at.
He's not a metaphysician, bro. If he's a metaphysician, I'm a professor at Cambridge.
Like, bro, like, if I was in this debate, I would immediately just be like, define thing. Define reality.
He doesn't know what transcendentals
is.
are. He doesn't know what transcendentals are, bro. Like, good question, bro.
I don't know what else you understand besides that. And Jay
Why are you getting pressed because you're allegedly lighting a candle? One, because I have my pet rats. I have 2 rats that are in my room. You're not supposed to have candles in the same room as them because they have a really sensitive nose. And 2, my wife bought a candle for one of my friends. And apparently she had the thought that I possibly just decided to light it.
Iyer specifically explicitly states many times over in his debates with Catholics that it's not about merely something manifesting and this thing being created. He's saying everything in terms of the manifestation, there's nothing created there whatsoever.
Wait, what?
And this thing being created, he's saying everything in terms of the manifestation, there's nothing created there, that it's not about merely something manifesting and this thing being created. He's saying everything in terms of the manifestation, there's nothing created there whatsoever.
So you admit that St. Gregory Palamas is saying that it's not created? Why did you just... Holy shit. Is it that easy?
I'm gonna do a question here for Nick. Here we go. Nick, speak about the Quran is pro-Trinitarian or anti-tritheism and is refuting the heresy of John Philoponus. This was controversy on the 6th century. I don't know if you wanted to speak to this.
Is he asking whether I believe it's pro-Trinitarian or not?
I guess so. I don't know. I thought this may be something you knew about.
Obviously, no. It is. The Quran is obviously not pro-Trinity.
Okay. Yeah. Here's a question for Jake. Jake, does your version of the LTP rely on the negation of relative identity? Correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like you're arguing via FOL plus absolute identity.
Yeah, we're assuming that absolute identity is true.
Yo, are we stupid? Are we stupid? So, like, okay, after we finish.
Sorry, go ahead.
After we say, you know, he's apparently saying, okay, after relative identity is assumed, you know, the identity operator for absolute identity is just non-existent. We can't use that anymore. Because we're relativizing identity.
Because we're relativizing it.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Look at Nick smirking too. He's just like, what the fuck?
He knows he's won, bro. It's just...
All right.
So it's not only that we're assuming absolute identity, we're also assuming that we count by absolute identity.
I just exhale. That's my reply to that.
And so when Nick and others don't count by absolute identity, we question them as to by what method they're counting.
Again, you're just presupposing that absolute identity is the only method. Questioning me? Why?
And whether or not they're consistent with their own standards, and I don't think that they are.
Question for Jake. Hafs equals Quran, Warsh equals Quran. Hafs doesn't equal Warsh. I call this the QPT. How do you reconcile this dilemma? You're not obligated to answer. That does seem a little bit off topic now that I read it. Up to you, though.
Yeah, I'll move on.
Okay, that's perfect.
W concession.
W died.
Oh my gosh.
W died. Oh my gosh.
It gets crazy.
Really fair. Yeah, it's not the topic of debate, guys. Try to keep it on the actual topic here. Question for Jake. When Allah gains accidental properties, do we count?
We don't say,
Hey, yo, we got Elijah in the chat.
that Allah's attributes are him.
When Allah gains accidental properties, do we count multiple Allahs by indiscernibility of identicals?
So that's the distinction between Nick and myself.
Or is diachronic identity relativized?
Wait, so he's not? He doesn't say that there's identity of predicables there.
Is that
Let's listen.
the difference is that we don't say that Allah's attributes are him. So that's the distinction between.
The attributes aren't Allah,
That's the Maturidi objection.
but
That's
they're
actually-
nothing other than Allah.
Between Nick and myself is that although I accept that God's attributes.
So it's called a dummy sorrow. If you read Nicholas Griffin book, starting on section 3, redness is considered a dummy sorrel. There's a difference between dummy sorrels and other types of sorrel.
It's also called an ill-formed sortal as well. I read that in Geach's book. Red would be considered an ill-formed sortal because it's too vague. It refers to too many general things. Because sortals, like as they're defined, they have to be specific enough. So it's ill-formed. It refers to too many things. Too many possible things.
A dummy sorrel is just a different category.
Dummy sortal is just another way that people say that, but it's ill-formed as per Geach.
Logic demonstrates identity isn't a floating connective, but requires a sortal concept, the same F. In your LPT critique, is God an essence sortal or a PRSN sortal?
Person sortal.
I guess is what he's. I'm not sure what that is referring to there.
I don't know what he means by analytic logic.
What do we do?
If he's talking about the logical systems used by people like Peter Geach, then it's just going to fall into the same criticism that I have and that I've mentioned earlier. And at least somebody like Peter Van Inwagen, who does use a similar logical system, and he relativizes identity, he freely admits that
Hey, this guy relativizes identity, by the way.
relative identity logic has no utility outside of Christian theology.
Yo, this shit is actually miserable. I'm listening to the rest of this and then I'm going to bed.
And therefore it is completely ad hoc and contrived, and there's no content behind it, and it leads to this denial of metaphysical realism.
You're ad hoc and contrived. Anyway. Real trap shit. Damn, son, where'd you find this? Anyway. Wait till 122 to see my question.
We make it easy.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's not. I'm looking at some of the super chats to try to find the questions. Are there two natures of Christ, particular or
that?
Wow, Severin dilemma.
Branch.
Let me just make sure there's some quote and another
This is Yakovos.
below the throne or throne descent. into the heavens, does he keep the essential attribute of being above the throne? If so, is there one Allah above the throne and another below the throne, or throne descend? It's not
really relevant, but
It's kind of
IP, what are you doing? This is hilarious to answer.
off topic. Yeah.
I'll answer the question anyway. We don't believe that Allah actually descends into the lowest heaven as if he is inside the heaven and he's surrounded.
Oh, so it's anthropomorphic and you're going against the Salafis?
So Allah does not have a location?
Allah does not have a location.
By it, that's not our position. We don't believe that Allah actually leaves the throne.
You can't do that shit as a Salafi. You're committing shirk, Jake.
Here is a question, Jake. Is creation an uncreated act of God?
The act of creation, I'm assuming that's what he's trying to say, is creation an uncreated act of God? Or do you mean like something that's created, actually in creation?
Oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. There's no way that you didn't get that question. Anyway, I'm getting out of here, guys.
Hey, God bless you, brothers.
I'm going to bed.
Stream. Peace out, guys.
Peace out, guys. It was a good stream.